Hey, what's up, Neil?
Oh, hey, Cal.
How's it going?
I'm doing good, thanks. I didn't know we were starting.
Yeah.
I always get
we're
startled whenever we start, so I look around and I'm like, hey,
what's
up?
I'm
doing good, thanks. How about you?
Good. Feels like I haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to get back here.
Yes, it's been at least 3 weeks, maybe a month.
I couldn't be more excited with the guest we have today, which is Kevin DeHo.
These guys are professionals. I tell you, I've never been around more professional people than these two.
DeHo, what's up, bro?
What's up? Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Yeah.
So, thanks for being here, DeHo.
Thanks for having me.
Before we start, I just want to say my buzz is brought to you today by M43 by Old Nation.
Mm-hmm.
We have some Shorts Brewing there, Bell's, Stone, and Atwater. Some local Michigan beers, and I have this special one here that DeHo brought for me via Mike Hannigan in Chicago.
Hannigan gets all the credit.
Via Chicago. How fitting.
Look at that.
So it is a Foxtrot and Wilco present Jesus Don't Cry Pilsner, and it is a
special edition
Wilco beer.
It sure is.
Thank you.
Yeah, and...
Yeah, what are you drinking over there?
Let's see. This is a Oliphant Brewing Dracula Weed West Coast Style IPA. Shout out to Peter Yunt for getting this for me for my birthday. And these guys keep waiting for people to send them beers. Come on, guys. What the hell? Yeah. Like, these things are here for a reson. Start sending them some beers.
And then if Seagrams wants to ever chime in, I mean, we're over here, too.
Compliments Uncle John. What up?
What?
So, like I said, it's awesome having you here. I know we talked about it in season 1. I'm glad we kind of pushed it off a little bit because I think it's going to be even better.
Yeah, it's always better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're probably my oldest friend, right?
Well,
we met in 4th grade.
We sure did.
Through another friend, another Kevin, actually.
Kevin Half. Yeah, we had Kevin A, Kevin B, Kevin D. I don't know. There was a lot of Kevins.
Yeah, there was so many Kevins growing up.
Yeah.
So
where'd all the Kevins go, by the way? Come on, parents.
Yeah, no mas Kevins.
Yeah, actually, a few of them are followers.
Basically, all the Kevins I know now are dogs. So,
right. So this is called Two Dudes. So that actually brought me back to a story.
Oh,
and I'm going to shout out Mike Waldron right now, who actually has been following us quite a bit. So
even though he disfriended me on Facebook. Thanks, Mike. I didn't make his cut, apparently. I used to be friends with him. Now I'm not. But please continue.
So anyway,
true story.
He had his birthday party was at McDonald's.
That used to be the best place to go.
Oh my God, it was amazing! And
stacking up the things, and
you got the little hats that you were going to wear, and they were going to write whatever they wanted. And me, you, and Kevin Half were going to be Dude 1, Dude 2, and Dude 3.
Yeah.
And you were first in line, and you had said, "I'm going to be Dude 1."
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you want to be Dude 1?
But what did they write?
Something other than that.
D-U-B-E. He was Doobie number 1.
Yeah.
So then by the time you realize I'm in there, so now I'm Dude 1. Half is Dude 2. You ended up in Dude 3 because of that. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. That pretty much was the trajectory for my life. That kind of set me off on the wrong direction.
So since 4th grade, we played soccer from the time we were 10. I mean, being in your backyard, your dad built that.
We had a net.
Good old Tim built the net.
He sure did.
Which there was no business a full-size soccer net being in that backyard.
The poor neighbor, dude. We hit the side of his house so many times. Boom, 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 boom. Like, we were just relentless, which meant we weren't very good at soccer. Obviously, we're putting it on net.
Actually, yours was because you had an awesome shot, and I just happened to save it.
Oh, probably. Yeah. You were pretty epic in goal.
Wow. Yeah. Giving credit to both, huh?
The things I remember most about your house, 3 things. All right, let's go 3. The first was the first time I got my license, I drove to your house, and it was just like freedom, right? That was so cool. Second, trying to play basketball against Paul. I don't think he ever lost a rebound, and he threw his elbows
down.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. And then when he had the ball, he'd back you down the paint. All the time.
He's very aggressive,
and he was always on bare feet.
Always. He was never wore shoes.
Somehow he would play basketball, but people had to do tennis shoes,
and would still own you on the court. So he's a good athlete. Shout out to Paul. And then the other is my first R-rated movie. That's what it is for. First R-rated movie, Purple Rain, at your house at a sleepover. Prince, which is a great. I almost put him on my list. And 4th was Tyson lost to Buster
Oh, my
Douglas,
God.
and I was at your house.
So mad.
We were so flabbergasted that he lost to Buster Douglas.
Tyson knocked Buster down too, and that everybody thought the freaking fight was over. And Buster freaking got up.
Yeah.
And then
And yeah,
boom,
remember
boom, boom.
Pam? Go Buster, go Buster.
Oh yeah, your mom was rooting for Buster Douglas.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't like.
We almost threw her out of the house.
Yeah.
She had
Shout
money
out to
on it or
Pam.
something?
Do love Pam.
Come on.
I know.
Big love for Pam.
And whatever, Buster.
Obviously,
Way to go.
Tyson has had his issues. I think he's in a good place now. But there was nothing better than watching Tyson fights on TV.
No,
back
that
in
was
the day.
that was a special.
You didn't have to pay
special
for
time.
it. Like just be on like TV.
Yeah.
Or you had to have cable. But you didn't have crazy charges to watch that shit.
Yeah.
So I do have a confession to make.
Okay.
This goes back to us growing up and that. And it's something that I haven't admitted in probably,
This ought to be good.
since at least 1990.
Okay.
So what is that, 34 years now?
No, don't make us do math. Go on.
I always tell everyone Aerosmith was my first concert ever.
Oh.
Technically, that is not true. My first concert was with DeHo,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was the Christian rock band Petra.
Yep. Our Ward Presbyterian
Yep.
Church was very much into recruiting people to come to their their calling, and that probably was my first concert too.
The calling did not work for me, by the way, but that was my first show. And I do remember it was just me and you, and I was in the crowd. And the one thing I will remember is hearing the bass guitar like for the first time live, and it was like a bass solo. I'm like, holy crap, what is that? Never heard anything like that before. And so I guess maybe the seed was planted there, but it was Aerosmith that took me over the top.
That's fair.
But I will say, I don't know. I don't know if Petra's still around or not. I did not want to go down that wormhole.
I kind of want to look it up right now. They're probably still rocking. I
Probably.
guess. Yeah, they were.
Oh yeah, they're just doing
good.
They're just doing smaller churches now.
No, I think they're in the big churches. I think they've made their way up. We'll have to look.
All right, so obviously, growing up, elementary, middle school, high school, the one thing that I also remember, we had a band.
Oh, we sure
In
did.
the
Yeah.
elementary
Oh, back in
school.
Randolph days.
Yep, good old Edmund Randolph. And I remember that you were like the front man.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I was a lead singer for sure.
lead singer
For
and
obvious.
guitar.
probably
100%.
Probably didn't even have to say it, but
100%.
everyone knows.
Everyone who knows a DeHo
Uh-huh.
knows that
Front man.
if he's not front man singing, he's doing the worm somewhere. Even I know it's retired except for special occasions.
That's true.
But, you're doing the worm up until in your 40s is amazing.
Only when a bride requests.
But I was the keyboard player,
Oh, you
which
sure?
consisted of
Never
some
seen a
sort
better one.
of styrofoam thing that I put some keys on.
Oh yeah,
And
it was well put together.
I had this little thing. It was like a rabbit on a skateboard called Stewie, which you remembered.
I thought it was a troll doll, but fine.
It wasn't, but
it's
that's
a
all right.
bunny.
But the
whatever.
only song I performed was "Home Sweet Home" by Motley Crue because of the keys.
That
right?
was the best one. I mean, it came out that year.
Oh, it was amazing, and I was so uncomfortable, completely embarrassed because that was totally not me doing stuff like that. And then I look over, and he's just rocking out like he's in the actual band. It was awesome.
Well, at that moment, I was in the band.
I know.
Can we maybe?
I will say that's something I've always admired about you. Is like you're dancing and all that shit, and you're just out there. You just do it.
Well, because I was in a breakdancing class in elementary school. My name was Turbo, and it served me well in life because I was able to have fun and people enjoyed it.
I mean, which is always cool. You hang out with DeHo, he's talking to people, so you end up, and
Shout out to Jojo Canaleo. He'd be a good one. He's actually a DJ in Vegas.
Is he really?
Oh yeah, he's also a nurse. But him and I kind of bonded over the breakdancing, and
he was amazing.
Yeah,
I do
he was
remember.
better than me.
Absolutely.
But I would love for
You
you
were
to
good.
maybe sing "Home Sweet Home," Neil, just a little bit, not the whole song.
Okay, maybe not right now. Not right on
He'll
site.
bring it out when you least
all right.
expect it.
Sorry.
You know,
Okay.
but
I
Sweet
I
home.
don't really know the words. That's all I know.
probably
You just have to sing "Home Sweet Home."
I'm on my way
There you go. There you go.
home, sweet home.
I tell you what,
That just made my day.
Hey, Motley Crue.
Thank you.
Since Vince Neil can't do that anymore, maybe give Neil a call because he actually didn't you win like second chair? What was that?
I was choir student of the month. I think we've mentioned,
mentioned
this
it
over
before.
many episodes.
I believe you actually mentioned it to Black Hill Graffiti in case they needed some backup work.
Well, Neil is sneaky good at singing. Neil, you are. You have a good voice.
Here's
And
another one.
I didn't remember this till just now, but I accidentally got placed in the choir class at Frost,
Oh, nice.
and then I ended up getting like solos and shit. It was fun.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I tried to convince my son
Thank you.
to do.
You have a good voice too.
Well,
Yeah, Neil's another one. He'll
He-
sing, he'll dance, he'll do
He's
anything.
such a charmer over there. He's such a charmer.
He's such a...
Sorry.
You know, the
I
one thing
digress.
that always still haunts me to this day, though, about our little band was I was just ready to start introducing the guitar
Oh yeah.
into my arsenal.
Yeah, you were a little ahead of the game on that one.
Yeah,
I feel
but-
like we missed an
So we really
opportunity
missed
there.
out, but you never know. Hey,
Yeah.
who thought we'd be starting a podcast? Maybe we picked that band back up where we left it. Kevin Half, where you at?
I was going to say, shout out to Kevin Half, to Jennifer Horseman, to Nancy Wagner, probably Aaron Stikursky, Susie Poling.
And
It
then,
was just you and me and a bunch of chicks. And Kevin Half.
Kevin Half, yeah.
did you guys have a name of the band?
I don't really remember what it was. I think
think
we were
we
still
need-
Now you
toying
have to
with
bring it back and actually get a name for yourself.
I think
What
we
would
don't.
you name it? I feel like you have a brain to name
Maybe
it.
like just awesome,
Yeah.
and it could just be JUSTAW.
Just awesome.
Okay.
That would be
Just
just awesome.
All right, let's do
Might
it.
even be sweat. So,
Totally sweat.
Dio, you brought up, well, you played Dream On the lead in. And so in high school, I was actually the senior class vice president.
Yeah,
One of
he's-
two.
Big brain on this guy.
Look at the big brain on Brett. And we loved this song. And I brought it up with Ryan Maxey about Indiana Soccer Camp. And
What's up, Ryan?
I didn't want you to, I felt like you may have been a little left out. No, you were right there with us.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And we would play Dream On loop. People would be so pissed. But I mean,
It's a
it
good
was our
song.
song.
It's a
is
great
great.
song.
I saw it live. That's what hooked me. It wasn't Petra's bass lines. Fuck that. Fucking Aerosmith Dream On.
Whoa, we're hating on Petra all of a sudden? Hold on a second. I'm not even Catholic, sorry. We don't do this.
Yeah,
I
don't even know what that
I don't even know what
means.
that means. It's all right, though. It's all right.
Sorry, all you Catholics.
I do love Jesus though.
Jesus.
Yep.
Jesus don't
Jesus
cry.
don't cry.
Don't
Boom.
please
Fucking
don't.
love Wilco, man.
Jesus don't cry.
It's been so long
I
since
think
I've seen
Wilco
him.
made my second five. Yeah. I do love Wilco.
I will say you're
That's
the most
hard.
prepared person coming in.
No, really?
No, Paul Grosso, he brought in his, I have it in there, his entire list of, I think it was 428 shows or something like
Yeah,
that.
I can't touch that.
Well, he said he had all the stubs, but eventually it all started
Yeah.
wearing out.
Yeah.
So he started logging them all. Kind of like how my whole Two Dudes was,
Right,
way
right.
back in the day when I was going to write my book and my Jack Kerouac stage.
The rest is history.
And the rest is history. All right, so back to the Dream On. We love that song so much. Our buddy JB also was a VP at the time.
Jason Bernal.
And we were pushing to have Dream On be our homecoming song.
It was very controversial.
Oh, my God. And we had the votes.
Oh,
we
yeah,
had the
yeah,
votes.
Yeah. Congress has got nothing on this.
No. So, but out of the kindness of our heart, all we wanted was to have it be recognized as the song that it is
Right.
for our class, which it meant so much to so many people.
Yeah, because we were dreaming for our futures.
Absolutely. And I went with to the concert in '90 with Hebert and Vossler. So
Vossler.
I know
Brad Vossler.
Jason Vossler.
Oh, sorry, Jason.
So what we did, as
You always look like a Brad.
as a great government organization does,
yeah, you gotta.
they work together.
Yeah, you gotta get consensus.
Everyone, homecoming is special. We get that. What's not special? Coming home. It's a stupid dance, but just something to do.
except
in
for
the-
the girls ask the guys. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it is. But I mean, it's not homecoming. It's not prom.
Nah, it's-
So we said, all right, you guys can have what you want for homecoming. Dream On is going to be coming home. And you know what?
It
It
was.
worked.
Yeah, I always thought it was prom. That's how much it stuck in my brain. Like, I tell people that was our prom song.
I think Prom was Wonderful Tonight by
Oof.
Eric Clapton, who I'm not a Clapton fan at all. He's not even that good at guitar. I said it. He's not.
Holy cow.
He's
he just said it.
He's a blues
said
guy that just, a little bit here and there.
Oh, that's controversial.
Oh, yeah. Do you like his song "Cocaine"? It's one of his most popular.
Yes.
It's a cover. Get out of here. He's right up there with Sting.
All right.
Newsboy.
All right, I'm sorry.
I didn't say anything about Foo Fighters yet.
This guy doesn't know music.
No, I do agree. I have to go see him live, and that's the.
Never seen a better band live.
You know
than
what? That's
Foo
the
Fighters.
feedback I've gotten from a lot of people. Go see him live.
So much energy.
and I'll do that.
So much energy.
And I get it. I get that Foo Fighters is awesome for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Everyone's got their own genres.
But
and tastes.
I've also that live show. I mean, Neil, it's happened for you. I can guarantee it. Where you actually see him live, and you're like, "Wow, I see him in a whole different light."
Yeah.
Coldplay was one for me.
It's very rare for someone to come out of a show and not like them more.
Correct. That one,
Yeah.
I agree.
It's just it's
No matter
science.
who it is.
It's science
It's 100% proven science.
for sure.
Don't even look it up. Don't put it in the Googler.
No.
Yeah.
No. Just take our word.
accepted.
Just take our word for it.
It's accepted.
Yep.
And I think that everybody understands that when they go to a live show. I'm like, I never knew that they were that good.
Right.
You know, like I think that's a lot of people's.
Yeah.
Well, I have one that I just
Thoughts?
went to a couple nights ago that I will say how good that
I was supposed to go to that with you, but
That was, we'll talk about
I
that 'cause
drunk, committed, and then back.
that whole 2 hour like text conversation at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, and I read it back afterwards, and I like didn't pick up on certain things. Like, I was asking follow up questions. Like, I know what he was talking about, but not at that point.
And I'm like, man, I'm not being clear enough. Let me reiterate it 3 more
That's what he
times.
meant. Yeah, that happens.
Call me Dave. He won't hear it.
Dave doesn't watch your stuff.
Come on, how's he watching it?
Well, I mean, Dave.
So I did have him on. Just me and him.
I did watch
Did
that.
you?
Yeah,
Right, that was fun.
He's American Hero, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. He was here when we did our fantasy football special, but he
Right,
was
right.
in the crowd.
So where was
He was, like,
right
in
there? You had to
back
put
over
those
there.
down. Okay.
Yeah, we put the things up so that people up the top could see. But he was in the crowd, but never actually even watched it or anything. So I wanted to have him on. And,
Yeah. I mean, it's your old man.
well, we always had the 2 shows I always wanted to talk about, which was the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and then Wilco at Soldier Field. And,
Yeah.
which we did. That was one of 2 bachelor parties in Chicago. We went to Chicago for years.
Oh yeah, that was a fun weekend.
Uh-huh.
Neil, were you there? I think you were.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think it was,
Yeah.
There's a lot of. There's like 12.
We took the train, and my buddy passed out and slept in the upper
luggage thing.
luggage. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Alan Chevelle, what's up? He lives in Howell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't go to that one.
Yeah.
Did we all go on? Did you go on
No,
the train?
we drove.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys probably met us there.
I'm like, because I go on a train? I don't
Because
remember.
like Paul, I think Paul was there, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And Dario.
It was like the most surreal thing. All of my different worlds colliding.
Right.
Like that's the craziest thing. Like all my friends were there, and they showed up. We went to a Cubs game, and
That's right. That's
yeah.
when we went to the Cubs game.
And
Oh yeah, I was there.
2 quick stories since you brought it up.
Absolutely.
One,
Hey, we got all the time in
Okay.
the world.
so one was my buddy Sean. Do you know Sean Thomas? He fleeced down one of the Amtrak workers and bought the Amtrak hat off of her. Now, first of all, she's like, "There's no way." She's like, "Everyone's got a price." She's like, "No, I could get fired." He's like, "Everyone's got a price." I think he ended up buying it off her for $100. So he's wearing this hat through the station in Chicago when we arrive, and people are running around late for their like connections. And he's like, "You got to go to the right, and then over here, and then over there." Everyone keeps asking him because he's got the Amtrak hat on. He's giving them wrong information, just sending them all different directions. Next thing you know, he's detained by like the cops. He's getting interrogated, and my brother-in-law Nick is like, "You don't have to say shit. Those are fake cops. You don't have to say shit." So that's one story. And then my brother-in-law Nick, he's like, "If you're gonna marry my my sister, you're going to do a shot with me." And I'm like, "I have a no shot rule on my bachelor party because I want to remember everything." He's like, "Maybe you didn't hear me. If you're going to marry my sister, you're going to do this shot of Jack with me." I'm like, "All right." So we did the shot. Next thing you know, we're at the hotel. He's pulling the fire alarm. We're all scattering. He was freaking wasted. But anyways, that's the 2 stories. Those are good, don't you think?
That was a good time. No, that was the one and only time I've been to Wrigley, which was
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
Actually, Pearl Jam's playing Wrigley this summer, I think.
I've been there.
Again.
I've seen Pearl Jam at Wrigley. And Sean, sorry, one more story.
Keep going, bro. That's why you're here.
Was working the hotel bar we hung out at. He was checking IDs.
Wait, for
my bachelor party.
I
He
remember
was checking
that.
IDs,
So-
like acting like he worked there.
I remember
So
when-
Sean was just pretending like he owned Chicago.
amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
I do remember that, and I can see Sean. I do remember the checking the ID.
Yeah, I think he
It was at
rejected
the
a couple
hotel.
people.
It was at the hotel bar.
It was the hotel bar, yeah.
And because the first night, I think we went to Wrigley, did it up, and then we went pretty good throughout the day, and then we were at the hotel bar, and you guys are like, all right, we're gonna go hit the bar. I'm like, I'm not leaving. And
We lost a few soldiers.
well, we stayed in that hotel bar, and then when you guys all got back from wherever the hell you were, I know I was still sitting there because you guys came back, and I know there was at least one or two others with me.
That's hilarious.
But it was such
Yeah.
a fun time.
that
Like
didn't
you
even
said.
make my notes. That was good.
No, it didn't. And the one thing that did, and we'll get to that too in a minute. But first, we can't skip over. We talked elementary, middle school, high school, college, right? So me and Neil, we've said it before, we went to University of Detroit Mercy. We played soccer there. You went to Western
Go
Michigan.
Broncos.
And you mentioned Sean and Kimball and Shevitz.
Who now have a very good soccer team, Western.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh,
God,
they've been on a
they
good
beat
run.
Duke.
Yeah.
They beat Duke
They
in the
are
tournament.
Yeah.
Really good.
Sorry to cut.
But anyway, those were some of the funnest times in college, right?
Oh, yeah, for
Especially like those freshman
Funnest isn't a word, but yes, it was fun.
The most fun. Put it in the Googler.
Grammar,
I will
please.
challenge. Put it in the Googler and we'll see what it says.
I'm a grammar police.
But no, some of those weekends were the best, and I remember putting something about Jackal on Bill Robinson's Facebook,
Good old
and he's like, "Legends were made in those weekends," and he absolutely said it right.
Yeah.
The best,
was the best when you slept on the way home at
the truck stop,
the truck stop like 2
5
miles from
yes.
our place.
Yeah, we're on our way.
You're like,
home.
you know what? I probably shouldn't be driving. Let's just sleep in our car.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, good
Hey,
decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was smart.
Freshman year. That
Sorry,
was a great
continue.
decision.
I think I took you in the wrong direction.
No, that was perfect. Well, that says a lot about those times. It's like because we'd only see each other like a couple times a year. We don't have social media.
Right, no. Didn't even have cell phones.
Right, we don't have cell
No,
phones,
yeah.
and we're not dudes. We're like, hey, Kevin, what's up at Western? We just don't do that shit,
Everything.
right?
Come on
So
out.
I'd be like, hey, what weekend can you guys come, or what weekend can we come see you guys? And
Yeah.
really, the best ones when we'd all come to Western.
Yeah.
Yes,
because
those
you had
are
like
fun
apartments and
weekends.
shit rather than our little dorms, but we still made UAD cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But those are some of the. I will never forget.
Most of it I do forget.
Well,
Yeah.
majority of it, but like, be like 3 a.m. and we'd be
Just
cranking
jamming.
Jackal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Shevitz's disc.
Oh,
right?
probably.
And it
That
had
sounds like Shevitz.
Lumberjack. Right, was
It's
the
like
main
fucking
song.
chainsaw, right?
The chainsaw. And it was just funny because then I knew nothing about Jackal. None of us did. Like, who has this CD?
Shevitz.
And we start looking at the names, and the very last song on the CD, do you remember the name of it?
No. Do you?
Well, it's a good, so this good thing that this is not made for children. The song is actually called "She Loves My Cock."
Way to go,
And
way to go, Jackal.
So, and I don't know. Maybe it makes the playlist for this episode. We'll see. It's on the Spotify playlist. You'll have to check it out, right? Everyone wants to know. It's actually it's like a love song. It's a ballad.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not.
In a certain sense it
So
is.
Jackal was being played at 3 a.m, right?
Oh yeah, it was one of
And then we'd get 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, wake up at 8, 9, and then immediately Jackal would be played while you're trying to wake up. Somebody would put it on, mostly Cal, put it in the and then it was.
And then you just
Well,
start
got the
fucking.
day started.
We would literally just start
And
getting
then we
hammered
just
together.
started-
What else are you
straight
going to do?
Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Fuck
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
Jackal.
I remember the one time we came up and it was wintertime. And of course, Kalamazoo always gets hit super hard with
it's
the lake effect.
Lake effect.
Oh, yeah.
And Grod was with us. I mean, at times we'd roll like 8 deep, and you guys were like, bring everyone. We just crashed.
Even 4 Acre came
Yes,
once.
4
Yes, Photog.
Got in
Yeah,
a fight.
that wouldn't surprise me. And I guarantee he won.
I'm pretty sure he did. It was like over our we had this weird little it wasn't a pool table, but it was I forget what it's called.
Billiards? Bumper pool?
Bumper pool. We had bumper pool.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't even.
Where do we get bumper pool?
I don't know.
But he
I don't even
fought
like
somebody
normal
over
pool.
top. I think it was probably, I don't know who he beat up, but he beat up somebody.
Yep.
I think it was someone that we didn't know that just was at a party at ours and
I think
said the wrong thing
I
before
think
he
you
could.
guys were okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were. We were
Like, there wasn't like any like shit you had to really deal with after the
that
fact.
guy
Like,
out. Yeah, and then we
fuck
kept-
out,
and then
what
we
did you
kept
say to
having
vote on?
We were invited back.
Yeah, we were invited back
dude
numerous
wasn't-
times.
Yeah, I don't think he overstepped. I think the guy got what he deserved.
That's hilarious. No, I remember driving, and it's winter. It's horrible, and we've made it. You know, we're getting off on the exit. You know,
That was
which one? Trying to even
was
get
so
there
freaking
back in the
snowy.
day.
By the way, I'm sorry. I
It was
know what you're
awful.
saying. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, that snow was like
White knuckling. I have
Your
this-
Mustang, right?
My Mustang,
Red Mustang, right?
and I think Rod might have had a
so
Jetta.
scared.
And like I
was
said,
just
we
driving.
finally
Neil
get
was
there.
scared.
We finally get there. I'm horrible with directions. So how the fuck did
You
we even
are?
get there?
Huh. No, I didn't know
Google-
that. I honestly
no.
did not.
Come on, remember that accident we got on the way from
Oh,
soccer
yeah, we got a
practice?
little
That was
turned
really
around.
fucking
Got a little
fun.
turned around that time.
But anyway, so I get up to the stop sign, and I'm, it's all of a sudden I'm looking, and here just comes Ground, and just slams right in the back of me. And we get out, like let's go. And there was really no damage. We get there, and I'll never forget Bugs' car, the truck, and it had literally this much snow on just on the little like front section part.
Good old Bugs. He's played in a lot of bands.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Mad,
absolutely.
Shout out to the Mad Butchers.
That's right. I forgot the name.
I
of the
love the
band.
Mad Butchers.
saw them
I
a
was
couple
like a
times.
groupie.
No, that was cool. Like
Yeah.
you with them was kind of like me, and then Neil to a certain extent with Red Eye.
Yeah.
When we used to drag you along and go
Oh, yeah.
when you first get
Johnny, or I'm sorry, Giovanni.
Giovanni,
Yeah.
Gio. But yeah, those times. I mean, those I will never forget. And it's one of those things. I mean, shit. We haven't talked to each other in a while. You know,
No.
we'll exchange some pleasantries here or
Sometimes
there.
we'll see each other at Camp
Camp
Dearborn
Dearborn.
before it shut
Right.
down.
Is that shit shut down?
Well, all the tents are done.
Tents are done.
Yeah, so we
The tent's where it was at.
So we've shifted our tradition to Kelly's cousins host it in Ohio now.
Okay.
But so it's the
Yeah,
same.
that was the funniest thing. Like we'd randomly see
Yeah.
because my whole like side of the Kalashevsky side would stay there
Of the same week, right next door.
every year.
Yeah, Dave Kalashevsky and his family is
And
like
it
right
wa-
next to us.
Wasn't it like we had no idea, and my dad was there, and you heard his laugh?
Yeah,
Like,
yep. It was
like, I
Dave's
know that laugh.
It was Dave's laugh that brought me down the hill, and I'm like, son of a bitch, that is Dave. And it was like blew my mind.
Right.
It's crazy.
But that was kind of where I was going with that. Is like after all these years, all the time. I mean, we still have that bond. Right?
Oh, of
going
course.
back to when we were in fourth grade through college, like those times are. I mean,
Yeah,
that
you-
shaped us, and that's where you want. Now we actually will get into the meat of what the show's actually about.
Oh yeah, I
right?
forgot
But-
about this. Was about
But no, I mean, like
Concerts.
when you
Yeah.
think about it, music
Two dudes.
in our age, right? So we were in high school when Nirvana broke, and we
stood
went
in
from hair
line to
metal.
see their new. Yeah,
So, did you see Nirvana in concert or no?
I did not.
Neither did I.
No.
Neither did I.
No.
They played State Fairgrounds in like October my freshman year of college, and I'll never forget it. I was hurt. I was gonna stay home.
Like,
and I'm like, oh
emotionally
my God.
hurt or actually? Hurt?
No, I rolled my ankle and we wanted to make sure I was good for the conference tournament, right? Because we had to win the shootout and shit.
Yeah, because you're the man.
Right, 100% Hall of Fame.
So real quick, I remember when Cal first started playing goalie because again we played soccer from a young age. He was the left fullback
Oh, yeah.
on our team, and we were in the finals, and our goalie got hurt, and so for some reason Cal got put in as a sub and was just dominant. He played goalie ever since.
So
he stopped every
What
shot.
was the name of that team, real quick?
The Wool? No, that
No,
was the red
Diamonds.
and white, the
It was
diamonds, the
Livonia
Livonia
Diamonds.
Diamonds.
It was like the-
Livonia Diamonds.
And we
I want a
won the
bat.
Canton Cup
The Can't tournament.
because Cal
Memorial.
subbed in and saved like every single
So
shot.
yes, it was.
And they're like, well, I guess he's our starter now.
Well, no,
because he's not very
it's
good
fun-
at left back.
No, fucking no, absolutely not. And it's funny you bring that up because this is twofold. One, I was not a good field player at all. And the only reason I ever even
He
started
was slow
playing
as
was because
fuck.
Paul played. I was slow as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing I had going for me was I was left-footed.
Yeah.
right? I mean, we think about all the left-footed people we play when he might as well chop off the
That's why
right
he was
fucking
left
foot.
back.
right.
That's why he's left back.
You know,
You're
and
right. There's not many
So
lefties.
and I'm in the back. So in
lefties
the
are
back, you
best.
know, with the fucking attacking people coming
They're
fast as hell.
faster than
And
he was.
have some skill. I might as well be wearing like big clunky high tops with this, you know, like the football ones being out there fucking playing. And it's funny you brought this up because I will never forget that. It was the Canton Cup Memorial Day weekend, and I want to say Jason Corney was our goalie.
Oh, he was the starter. Yep.
And it was
Shout out
Livonia
Jason.
Diamonds, which was like the precursor to the Wolves. The Wolves started
Bruce
the following
Thomas.
season. Bruce Thomas
He was
and
our
then
coach.
Troiani.
Rest in peace.
Absolutely, great guy. And then
What was that?
pour one out.
Oh, sorry.
And then
I don't want to waste the Seagrams. I'll just keep it here.
yes, during the game, Jason got hurt. It was like right at the end.
Yeah.
and it went to a shootout.
I know. That's what
So
just
I
said.
literally played only the shootout.
Yeah,
nothing
I know.
else.
No, I know.
And I think I saved at least 2. I might have saved 3.
I remember
On
him
that
saving
very-
all of them,
and-
but probably 3.
But literally at that point, I was like, fucking A, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, because I was like the stud superstar. We just won.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, I never played on the field again.
No.
That's an
Ever.
amazing story.
And now he's in the Hall of
I
Fame.
was,
Yeah.
Three different Hall
I was actually an All-American in high school.
Once
And
Cassard graduated.
We had 2 All-American goalies.
Think about that.
I know,
That would
it's
never
insane.
happen today.
I know. No.
You would have transferred so quick to Stevenson
Well,
or somewhere else.
it does happen because everybody goes the
Well, yeah,
AIG
now you
and
get
blah,
school
blah.
of choice.
yeah.
I would have ended up somewhere else.
No, I'm saying
But yeah, at an actual.
But no, you know
actual
what? It
high
was
school,
great
no, you're right.
because, I mean, Kassar was amazing, right? He was better than me, but we still pushed each other. Too,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
When we weren't just hanging out in the bleachers doing nothing. Because
so. You heard it here first. Cal takes all the credit for Cassar's success. How cool is Cassar though?
No, absolutely.
He's always
You know
been a
what?
great guy.
And that's the one thing that I do like about Facebook, you know,
Yeah.
doing all this stuff is he just commented the other day because I mentioned, you know, we hit 500 followers on the Two Dudes page,
Yeah.
you know. And he's
Come
like,
on,
oh, that's
guys.
awesome, you know. And I'm like, you know, thanks. And, you know, it's been way too long. And, you know, of course I followed him because he
Yeah.
coached in MLS, played
Right.
in MLS and all that, but haven't really even heard.
I think he's coaching for the U20s or like a
you
national
know-
team. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I think that'd be an awesome fit for him, too. Because,
Yeah.
one, he's got the head coaching experience, but he's
Right.
also got that goalkeeping background.
Yeah. And he
which
owns
is huge.
a bar in
Oh,
the
really?
Dallas area.
I know he's- I know
Sideways,
he's-
I believe.
I know he's
Shout out
in-
to Sideways. If those of you that are in
Sideways. Okay.
Texas, check it out.
Huh.
Yeah, we'll give a little plug to his bar.
Oh.
Yeah,
Maybe
he has like a buddy. They both own it together. But whatever.
That's
We
cool.
digress.
Right on.
Where are we going with this?
Who knows? Who knows? The one thing I do remember, and this goes back to the college days, we had a great. Well, we were talking about me playing goalie.
Oh, right.
We sidetracked there.
But I think I interrupted you.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So, I will remember my senior year of college soccer, and I mean, my freshman year we played in the conference tournament final. And we lost to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
We actually in the first round won or advanced. We didn't win. We advanced on a shootout. I saved 2 in that
Yep.
one.
I was there.
That was my freshman year. Sophomore year, you know, after coming off this great year, 16-4-3, you know, we're gonna push, and
Titans.
we ended up 8-4, barely squeaked into the conference tournament. We played Green Bay, the number 1 seed,
Yeah, they were good.
and we beat them in a
Beat 'em.
shootout.
Yeah. Pickler scored.
I only saved nope. That was
All right.
sophomore.
I'll just stop.
Then we played, but that year we played Milwaukee in the semifinals, and their goalie scored on me on a free kick from the 18-yard box.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, fuck off.
It was a deflection off of Thomas and went in the goal. It was sudden death overtime. We lost 1-0.
Oh, so it's Jeff's fault.
deflection.
Worst game of my life.
Nobody's fault,
the way
but
it
that's
ended.
fucked.
Junior year. We actually, I think junior year, we won the regular season conference title,
Yeah.
which was a first for UAD. And then we made it all the way to the conference final tournament.
Luke and Nick.
Yeah.
Yep. And we were playing Butler in the final, which ended up being our number 1 rival. And because so many Michigan guys.
Was, what's his name that played at, sorry. There's a Butler guy that I'm trying to think of his name right now.
There's plenty.
All right,
Well, so
continue.
Alan Plasek was in goal. You had Tino Cicluna, Jeremy Harkins, Richie Wallace.
Jeremy Harkins played there?
Noel Corwin and Steve and Scott Weiger both.
Weiger,
there.
that's the
Yes.
ones.
Yeah, the
The
Weiger,
Weigers.
both of them.
Weiger freaking scored.
And that was always, I mean, those games were awesome. Like, didn't matter if it was regular season.
Remember, obviously, you're gonna go into it, but that excuse me, that final
That
was a terrible final. I think we got a red card.
so
Probably Pickler.
So this is our junior year. We're in the conference, and if you win, you play another team, and then whoever wins that goes to the NCAA tournament. So, no, it was Solon. Mike Solon got a red card.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
deserved.
no, it was 2 yellows. He got 2 yellows in the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it was
one of them. I mean,
towards
they
the
were
end
horrible.
of the first half. Yeah.
So we're battling, and we end up going up 2-1. I think Vela scored, right? And
Probably a
there's,
header.
yeah, it might have been.
He always-
actually.
Velo's like
But it
90%
wasn't
of his
one
goals
where
were
he was
headers.
just muscling in the air. It was like a scramble, and he just like knocked it in, I think. Well, then we were up 2-1. We're a man down for like 75 minutes or something. And the ball comes in. It was Neil. He tries to chest trap it so he can just volley the shit out of it
He's got
out
a
of the
great
top of the
chest.
18. He chest traps it. Richie Wallace takes it off of him and ends
Fucking-
up scoring. Makes it 2-2.
You could just see him reliving it in his head.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, we've talked about it a million times.
it's my worst
And then
soccer
we
moment ever.
go to overtime, and now at this point, it wasn't sudden death, and they pumped us like 5-2 in overtime.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So like fuck. So now fast forward to our senior year. This is where we get
Time for redemption.
time for redemption. We did not win the regular season title, but we made it to the final, the semi. We advanced in another shootout. So I was
Milwaukee.
3-0 in college for
pretty good.
shootouts.
Pretty good.
But actually, the shootout, you were there.
Yeah, I remember being there.
Right, because so that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes back to like we used to hang out so much. So I know it was like you and Shevitz and Kimball.
We
and
needed
you had
that. We needed that.
That was awesome. But you guys, there was at least
We made a lot of
3,
noise.
4, up to 6
Yep.
people all drove literally from Kalamazoo to Indianapolis.
Oh yeah.
And that game, the weather was horrible. It was snowing, and that Milwaukee game in the shootout went 90 minutes, and it was 1-1. Then we did 30 minutes of normal overtime. Then we did 30 minutes of sudden death overtime, and then it went to a shootout, and we ended up winning that bitch.
Yeah.
And then Butler played whoever it was after us. And
Oh, right, yeah,
because
'cause
the
it's that same
weather,
place.
they sent us home. Normally we would have stayed and played, but that ended up,
Yeah.
it didn't work out.
Right.
And then the very next weekend, we had to go back to Indianapolis to play Butler in the final, and you fuckers showed up again.
Oh yeah.
And that was like so awesome.
Yeah.
We
That you guys
freaking
did that. It
played
meant
really
so
well
much
that
to
game.
us.
By the
Oh,
way,
dude.
Oh, we played amazing.
we went 2-0.
We were groupies. We were
We won
groupies for
2-0. Georgie came out in the first half. He
Yeah.
scored that bending goal.
Georgie. He's a Canadian dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
He got that bending goal around Playsick, which nothing he could do. And then it was 1-0. I mean, just a battle. And then
Blackwell, yeah.
he nutted that dude at the top of the 18, and then upper 90. It was
Blackwell,
2-0 with
yeah.
like 5 minutes
How
to
good
go.
was Blackwell?
Oh, amazing.
He hated me, but we had a little rivalry. But I don't know why that was. But he never really took to my personality. But he
he's
was
one of
really
the-
good at soccer.
He's one of the best.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, dude,
One of the best
I've
I've
never
played with,
seen
for
a
sure.
more dominant player.
So
before you move on,
All right, no, perfect. I remember where we were going with it.
I know.
I made it all the way back.
I know.
All that talk and did it.
all I was gonna say is one of my favorite memories of high school, which we went to the finals. We lost state final. We were state champions for the Wolves. That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But where I was going with this was playing against Stevenson.
Oh,
I mean, you usually got the best of us. We did beat them once to get to the regional finals, but where I was going with it is like Pickler and I. So I would be like marking him, right?
you
And-
marked the shit out of anyone.
Oh.
Give you a job, you would do it,
Dude.
You were.
I was
you
slapping
weren't-
his nuts.
you weren't-
I was kicking his shins.
You weren't the most consistent, or you weren't the most skilled.
No.
You weren't this or that. But
No.
you were consistent.
Yes.
and you knew you were going to get
Yeah.
100%
You were
out of you.
freaking tough.
And it
Coming from a goalie, that means a lot.
it drove Pickler crazy. We were obviously teammates on our club team,
Right.
and I just. I if he had long hair, I would have pulled it. I mean, and I love getting under, and it's easy to get under Pickler's skin too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
I
he's
would
a-
I would
he's
get
a-
him off
he's a
his game.
redhead.
So, anyways, Pickler, sorry for that, but I have fond memories of kicking your ass.
You know, and that's the-
and you're way better than me, by the way. I'm not saying I'm better than you,
I think-
but I enjoyed.
Are you saying you're better than me?
No, I'm not saying I'm better than Adam. Adam's way better. But,
I will say that is one of the most fun things about what we're doing here is, and I told my wife this, is...
You're married? Just kidding. What's up, Em?
No, is
You're
like...
married.
I mean, especially like being in your 40s, you know, you get stuck in a rut, you're hanging out at home, you don't talk to people, or this or that. So this makes us hang out, we're talking to people. I mean, people like Jake Jekyll. Remember, he was younger than us. Jake Jekyll. We played Sport Club in the final when we won with the Wolves State Cup.
Club, yeah.
He sent me a couple of videos. But Jeremy Harkins, Joe Nora, some of these guys that we've known for years playing soccer with.
Yeah.
But now it's like the other connection we have is music.
Sure.
Which is where I wanted to go with this, is us
But
growing
you brought up Joe Nora. Continue.
But no, when us growing up, like that is one. Besides, probably like the mid to late '60s, from the Beatles through like all the San Francisco stuff, grunge.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened with us. Like I remember, I loved old school hip hop, like 80s hip hop. Eric B. Rakim, Too Short, NWA, Two Life Crew. We listened to all that. Boogie Down Productions, and then we had like the stupid hair metal, which you listened to, but there wasn't substance, right? And I will say the very first album I ever bought was Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, that had the pentagram on it. You open it up and they all are dressed up and there's fire. And I will say my parents looked at it and they're like, whatever, but because it's just music, that's why it's fucking music, whatever. Yeah. But then as we were, could probably call it sophomore, junior, senior, like music just blew up. Yeah. Which was awesome for us because I went to Aerosmith at 15 in 1990. And then it was like, I'm like, wow, that was awesome. Yeah. I was a huge Aerosmith person. Yeah. I still like early Aerosmith. Yeah. Pump I liked, anything on, take it or leave it. Dude looks like a lady and shit like that. Fuck that. Get it out of here. But like old school, Seasons of Wither, Dream On, all that stuff.
That was a good album.
But then, Nirvana hit. And then I'm like,
things changed.
I want to go to more shows. I went to Black Crowes. The one we didn't, Lou Reed.
Oh, yeah.
Lou Reed. That was my very third. That was my third concert ever.
My very third.
So that was me, you, Paul, and Stack.
Yep.
And I will never forget that show.
Pine Knob, right?
No, it was Fox Theater.
Oh.
So it was Lou Reed, Fox Theater, and he had just come out with an album called Magic and Loss. Okay. Like one of his real good friends, might have been like a songwriting buddy or whatever,
right,
had passed away. So he did this whole album kind of as a tribute.
Right.
So I loved Lou Reed from Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
And then I worked at Mr. Musters, and I stole John Musters' Lou Reed New York tape.
I love Mr. Musters.
So that was like a different kind of Lou Reed. I'm like, sweet, that's awesome.
Sorry, I'm distracted by Mr. Mustard. That was so good. I could get free shit from him all the time.
God, those breadsticks. You will never find a better breadstick than what Mr. Mustard served up ever.
Nope.
The chicken was amazing. The ribs were fucking amazing. That guy was ahead of his time, dude. Imagine if he was around now, especially DoorDash and shit.
Yeah. That place was amazing.
You're good. There you go.
So,
sorry, I distracted him again.
No, that's all right.
Lou Reed.
Lou Reed.
Yeah. Mr. Lou Reed.
That was the thing is, I stole his tape. Like, it's in the back of the restaurant or whatever, in the tape thing, and I just stole it and put it in my car, and it's now mine.
I think I used to help you throw the garbage in the dumpsters.
Yeah, you did. He would got to know you. Like, this is my buddy Kevin.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Mustard?
John Mustard, cool dude.
You're not paying me, but I'm working for you.
That's like us. Hey, just like us, we're still looking for that unpaid intern here, 2 dudes. So send us resumes.
Yeah.
But no. So anyway, I see Lou Reed's coming. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to go. And I think I was probably 16, but Paul was the oldest one. He's going to drive the van. And
he was the responsible one.
Right. But I will admit, Lou Reed played that whole CD or album all the way through, but then he played like Walk on the Wild Side, some of those ones at the end. And we just kept screaming, Lou! And, you know, every single person hated us because everyone was like 50. You know, except for these like
20.
Well, there was 16, I think 17, and like a 19, 20-year-old, you know, and they're screaming Lou like a bunch of fucking losers. But it was awesome.
Yeah, I don't regret a single
not
second.
at all.
No,
but
do it again right now.
and it's funny because like looking back, some of these like early concert experiences, right, where for me like said, oh, I want to do it more, it kind of shapes me or whatever. I started thinking back, and you were involved. That Lou Reed was a perfect one. You know, another one was the Smashing Pumpkins at Breslin Center.
Oh boy, that was an epic night.
That was. So, you know, I'm in a bunch of groups on Facebook and stuff, and people love, it's either you love or you hate the Pumpkins. I'm an absolute lover.
Yeah.
I'm a fanboy. Even like the newer stuff, okay, yeah, you have 3 albums, 33 songs. You can find probably 8 of them that you actually like.
Yeah.
You got to dig.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's the thing, one thing people don't realize anymore. Like, you would buy a CD, you'd have to listen to it all and say, which songs do I like?
Yeah.
You know?
And in music, in my experience, like, you don't necessarily like it at first. Like, you have to listen to it a few times, and you're like,
100%.
you know what, this
Too
is
much.
actually a
You're
jam.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of albums where I'm like, listen to them, like, God, I
don't
didn't
know.
really like
I
that.
don't know.
And then I've listened to it like years later. I'm like,
Wow, that's
oh my
a
God,
jam.
why didn't I like it back then?
Right.
You know, when I was always like that
Music
with
is great.
Yeah.
is Stone Temple Pilots. I was never a big fan when they first came out.
He always got a bad rap for trying to copy
But-
Eddie Vedder.
Right, and I mean, it's a stupid argument.
He's got a
but
lot of demons, obviously.
Yeah.
Rest in
It's just,
peace.
You're
but
right with
I
that.
will
You're
say,
right with the Stone Temple Pilots.
that's right.
I really do like him.
Yeah, you're on it.
Yeah.
It's wildin'.
Yeah.
No, but really, it was when I saw him with Velvet Revolver. And I'm like, holy shit, he is really a good singer and
talented.
frontman. And then it's like I went back and listened to some of that Stone Temple Pilots, and I have a much better appreciation.
Yeah.
And really what it boiled down to was I was a fucking music snob. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I hate them. So
We've
like,
all
these
been-
guys, but
Right.
you're all there.
Yeah.
And eventually
We've
you
all been.
realize that all music is awesome.
Yeah.
And you can go to a concert.
Speaks to different people for different
Right,
reasons.
right. We can be at the same exact show, standing next to each other, and it hits you different than me.
Yeah.
Hence
and that's the
why
beauty
we're
of it.
talking about it right now. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, where we always had connections through soccer and all these people. Like I said, music's always that thing.
Yeah.
So what is it about you that keeps you going? Because you've been to 100, 200
Yeah.
shows easy.
Yeah. So
Festivals.
I thought about this.
Well, I hope so. 'Cause it's the same question I've asked for
Yeah.
like 22 episodes now.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe come up with some new material. The music speaks for itself. Obviously, you're there because you like the band or you want to learn more about it. But to me, it's more about like the people that the experiences. I'm sure that's been talked about. But like, you know, the people that you go with.
It has been talked about, but it goes back to when you say it has to do with the people and experiences. That's still different than this guy over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people, it's the experience
Yeah.
of just this large group. Other people is, I might actually meet a friend.
Well, exactly.
So
So it's both the people that you go with that you're bonding over this experience. It's the people that you meet when you're there. It's the collective group together that's sort of all, you know, experiencing something together. That's what I love about it. And my favorite part of a concert is like when the band walks out. And everybody just goes crazy, right? And that first riff just kicks it in. Like, that's where I get the most energy from. And I people make fun of me, but like I think I've become Facebook friends with at least one person from every
100%.
concert I've been to. Like, you're such a fast, you're such a fast friend. I'm like, yeah, but I love people. I like meeting people,
Yeah,
and
you'll
learning
talk
about them, and hanging out, and I don't know.
I was just
love
at
it.
a show 2 nights ago,
That's
and
awesome.
I finally said to the 2 dudes, I was like, if I'm bothering you, just let me know.
let's
Because I can
connect.
talk yours off. Like, no, this is actually pretty cool. Okay, because
Yeah.
you know, and I'm almost damn near 50, and they're
Yeah.
like 20s and early
Yeah.
30s, you know.
Yeah.
But you connect
the
over the
presence to
music.
say, if I'm bothering you, let me know.
Well,
Yeah.
because
believe me, I
because
understand.
of what we just talked about when you're
I
young.
understand.
I mean, I would probably, if I was old man freaking Neil, I would have probably said, "Fuck you,
So,
buddy."
do you remember that Pumpkin show? Like I remember it though.
I do. I mean,
Like for me, that was probably.
I remember it more than you for a specific reason that we shouldn't mention.
I remember it. That was because I remember seeing them at the state fairgrounds.
I saw them there too.
So you went with us then?
I think it was I was maybe they played there after. I went with Kelly and my brother-in-law Nick. It was their last. There was their last show apparently.
Yeah,
right. It did not end up being their last show, but so they took a long break.
They played State Fairgrounds was like November, and they had just released Siamese Dream in July.
Yeah.
So this was like in support of that album, which was amazing.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic albums of the 90s.
For sure.
You cannot argue that.
No.
So when people always say,
I like Gish better.
I don't disagree.
Sorry, continue.
I don't disagree. It's got a harder edge to it and stuff. So, but when you see people always talking about, all these other bands, like, you could put Gish and Siamese Dream up against.
Yeah. You
could put those up against Nevermind.
You can just listen. Every song is awesome.
Right. Just like you could put them up against any Alice in Chains album. Are they better? I mean, that's now you're talking opinion and debating. Yeah. Right. But it's comparable.
Sure, for sure.
So a lot of times they don't get kind of the credit. But what I remember was me, you, and Pickler. And I don't even remember whose dorm room we went to at Michigan State.
Good question.
We went to someone's dorm room.
Kelly Village, maybe?
It's possible.
Yeah.
And everyone was just getting hammered.
That's weird.
And then we met up with Paul, Bob, Dan O'Shea, which another effing great one,
that
man.
gutted me.
Fuck yeah.
There's not
Love Dan O'Shea,
a person that passed away that gutted me more than Dan O'Shea.
I know. He was awesome. And Lars. So we met up because we're going to go in, and we're like, all right, we'll see you guys. Have a great show. And we were like way up top at the Breslin.
But not for long.
No, and I don't even remember who opened up. I will say, I did go to a Pumpkin show one time. You know who opened up? Garbage. And I'm like, holy shit, that was a great show.
Yeah.
But anyway, as soon as Pumpkins came out, it was like you said, the lights went down, the place erupts, and Corrigan hit that first note.
Yep.
And me, you, and Pickler just ran.
Yep, to the front.
Straight down, and we worked all the way to the front. And then after the show, we end up at a house party in
Livonia.
Because me and Pickler,
Titans.
We skipped our soccer banquet to go to the Pumpkin show.
Yeah, we had no business.
But before we move off of that, the only thing I will say about that party, because we mentioned him earlier, the faux dog, right? I had my Mustang, and I had to get 7 people back to UAD.
That night?
That morning. After we all wake up, you know. And I just always envisioned, like, after the scene, after the party, Weird Science, you know? Like, we're walking through trying to take stock of what's going on. And I'm like, all right, I need to get 7 people, and we're trying to rally everyone. And everyone's like, where the fuck is Faux Dog, you know? Can't find him. Faux Dog was in the master bedroom in the walk-in closet with almost every single article of clothing pulled on top of him because he was cold. He was trying to get warm.
That is funny.
So we hurry up and grab him.
I don't know if I knew that story.
We just got the hell out of there. And I'll never forget we showed up. I mean, we were like 19.
People were really shocked that we were there, too. They're like, whoa, what the hell?
We were 19, and we weren't at UAD, so we had no way to get beer. So we showed up, and we were primed. I mean, we were amped up from the show, and we drink everything in sight. Like, everything in sight. People were like, what are you doing? So,
what's yours is mine.
And, I mean, you know, it just snowballed from there. And actually, the one I remembered, too, and to me, this was like a funny show because it was almost like a weird group. Not a weird because we've always been friends, but it was Tool. Do you remember? At Phoenix Amphitheater.
Yep.
And it was me, you, Bullet, Bob Hayes.
Oh, yeah.
And Drew.
Drew Jerson.
Yeah. And it was like kind of...
Yeah, it was like worlds colliding.
Right, it was. Because you still were tight with Drew because we were in college. I kind of lost touch a little bit, but we stayed in touch, you know. And then Bob, like, you would never hang out with Bob without me or Paul, you know.
Love Bob, though.
It just worked out. We were like this weird force and went, oh, my God, Tool kicked ass.
Yeah,
they still kick ass.
Great live band.
Yeah,
well, I mean, for sure. Yeah,
great band in general. I get what you're saying. Great live band. Of course.
Have you seen Tool in concert?
No.
Never?
Really?
I think we're going to... Am I going to go see... Not Tool.
No, we're going to see Primus, Pussifer, and A Perfect Circle. So it's all Maynard. Maynard,
Yeah.
but not Tool.
Yeah, Maynard. So Tool, Nine Inch Nails is another underrated. It's just a dude, right?
Oh, Nine Inch Nails.
Have you seen them live?
No.
So I saw them at the state. The
Trent
Trent Reznor, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Trent Reznor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a lot of.
It's
like,
just him.
pretty much.
It's pretty
He
much
does
just
a lot
him.
of
Recordings
music for the
and-
movies. Now,
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was up
really?
for an Oscar and stuff. I think a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I went and saw them New Year's Eve '94 at the Palace.
Okay.
And again, it was me, Bullet, and Paul, and we went with a bunch of the old Marauder soccer guys. Right?
I almost wore my Marauder shirt.
That would have been sweet.
Yeah.
And,
Had a stain on it.
and I'll never forget that
Bring it next time.
The
Okay.
one guy had like floor tickets, and he was on a first date, and we're like, "Man, that's pretty crazy."
Yeah, right?
Like on the main floor. He's like, "Really?" And we were like way up at the Palace. Like, "Well, we'll give you these tickets. You give us yours. We'll take the main floor. Don't worry."
Right.
Well, then we get down there, and it was set up where stage, pit,
He's
with
drawing,
a wall.
He's drawing us a picture
This is
here.
for you. Their seats were literally right here on this side of the wall, where you actually could put your beer on the wall. You weren't in the pit. You didn't have to worry about getting hit or nothing. It
Right.
was amazing.
Huh.
But it was New Year's Eve.
Bring that back.
It was Steiner.
Steiner.
Totally fleeced him. Well, we didn't know though, because
Yeah.
like I'm expecting like a crazy pit, mosh,
Right,
like
right.
9 Inch Nails.
Right,
I mean,
right,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like totally like relaxed. Like the pit was crazy.
What's
but,
Steiner up to? I haven't heard of his name in a long time.
I see
dude,
Steiner. He's in my golf league.
Yeah, he's in
The
golf
golf?
league. He's in our fantasy football. He's doing
Yeah.
good, man.
Good.
Yeah,
Doing well.
Steiner's
I
doing
always
great.
love Steiner.
Yeah,
Steiner's
good person.
Yeah,
Good
great
Yes,
people.
Steiner's
Great
one of the
people.
best.
So I want to get to some of the stuff that you've seen, because I know that I just talked about stuff we went to together, but
Right.
there was like a huge gap
yeah.
where we haven't gone to shit in a long ass time. But
Gap
you
is
sent
still
us some
growing.
notes,
Yeah.
and you've been to a lot of cool stuff. So
All right. Well, let's see.
I'm gonna let you lead the discussion.
Sounds good. So I would say some of the top of mind ones, which I can check my notes if I miss it, but probably the best story is when Kelly and I went to Ireland, and we weren't
This
there.
one stuck out in the notes.
Yeah,
Like,
we
that
were-
had to have been awesome.
Yeah, we weren't there to see a concert or anything. We were just going to see the countryside, and it was awesome. By the way, I recommend it.
That is, you are Irish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a Heinz 57, but Irish is in there.
Yeah.
All that matters.
Yeah, yeah. So
You got the drinking part at
yeah,
least.
yeah. Shout out. So we're in a hostel or whatever, and which is awesome, by the way, because you get to meet a lot of people,
Right.
and that's
Cheaper.
a different story, cheaper. And this flyer is like on the table in the entryway, and I'm like, this is tomorrow, Kelly. This is tomorrow, and I'm like, it's Foo Fighters, it's Killers, it's Keen.
Love Keen.
Yeah, it's like a few others that aren't top of mind. And I'm like, we got to do this. Like, it's tomorrow. It's like 20 minutes from here. So Kelly's like, no, we don't have tickets. And she was like pushing back on it. I'm like, well, I don't
Where'd you
really
get
like
tickets. Is the question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to probably just override you here. And we're going to do this. So we get in the bus, we go there, we try to get tickets. It's sold out.
Okay.
Kelly's like, told you so, told you so.
Of course.
I'm not done. Yeah. So,
No, you ain't done.
no. So we end up.
This had to be like back in the true scalper days too.
Yeah,
Did you
well-
have physical tickets or not?
No.
it was
We had
all
no
digital.
tickets.
No, I mean like was there physical tickets or was it still?
Probably. But we ended up paying off a security guard. And he walked us right through. We paid him like 100 euros or whatever it was back then. And he just like, all right, follow me. So we're the only ones in this concert without a wristband. And Kelly was freaked out about that too. But no one cared. No one even looked twice. But we were walked back by the security guard, and it was literally the most memorable concert I've ever been to. Because a festival, I love festivals.
Yeah.
And it's all these different bands. You're meeting all different people. There was a guy like handing like Jack is getting passed around, and they were just handing like, and like Irish flags everywhere.
Not a doobie. They're just hanging out.
and the Killers were awesome. Foo Fighters were amazing. So that was probably my top concert moment. And Kelly now admits you were
That
right.
is amazing.
And just to
She
hear
now
my wife
admits
say
you were
you were
right.
right.
It was
that was
just
amazing.
you two?
Just the two of us. Yeah.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
lord, that
Yeah.
is freaking amazing.
Yeah, that's the top. I got a few more, but
Did you see Foo Fighters before that, real quick? Or?
We had. Yeah, that was sort of like the reason why that it was like a non-negotiable, because we had seen them and they were so good.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. But I think that's probably where we liked them that much more, that they became one of our
That's a
favorites.
Right, the
freaking amazing
experience
story,
actually,
DeHo.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one I picked out on there. Like that's what a cool experience. It's always cool to go like on a road trip to see a show.
Right.
But something like that's just got to be completely mind blowing.
Yeah, and we did. So later, fast forward several years, we did we'd never done this before, but we went to 2 different Foo Fighters shows. Like we went to, well, the story will tell you that didn't end up happening, but we went to Cincinnati, I believe was the first show, and it was great concert. And then we were going to Louisville for the second show, and we're like pre-gaming, and we get a tweet that a family emergency canceled the show. Obviously a big bummer, but we had just saw them the night before, so you're not as upset about it. But we end up like meeting all these people that traveled so far from different places to see this, and they didn't get to see it. So we were like kind of bonding with them over that. But then there was also a University of Kentucky football game that day. And wow, like that town went crazy.
Oh,
and
wow.
it just like I'd never experienced, I guess I've experienced college towns on game days, but for whatever reason, it was just like another level. So anyways, it was a cool little
They
memory
probably
to
had that
play.
doughboy quarterback playing at the time.
Yeah.
Lawrence?
Lorenzen? He was a big guy.
I think he's dead. I don't know.
Yeah, he did, I think.
He was big in the Reno League too.
Yeah.
He was big both ways.
Almost as big as like Hasselhoff in Germany.
Yep.
Yeah. And then obviously the other one, unless you're going to move us in a different direction. Is,
we're wide open. This is where I want you to kind of maybe dig into some of the stuff you had on your notes.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, there was so much cool stuff there that I didn't get to experience with you, so I love hearing about it.
Yeah. So Lollapalooza. Go ahead.
Well, okay, Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
So have you been to like one in Chicago since it's
No.
So just the traveling one like me.
The Pine Knobs.
Yeah.
Those were the best.
Those were great.
Yeah. I mean, I actually wrote down these freaking artists like that.
Oh, like
blew
the
my mind.
lineups?
Yeah.
Yes. And the thing is there was at the height of that, they were doing
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
3 to 4 shows in each city.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Ministry, Ice Cube, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Lush, Jesus and Mary Chain, Alice in Chains, Primus, Dinosaur Jr., Tool, Rage Against the Machine, Smashing Pumpkins, Beastie Boys, George Clinton, and the P-Funk All-Stars, Green Day. I mean,
Tribe Called Quest was at that one too.
Yeah, I didn't write that one down, but
I didn't write that one.
No,
those were like
they were amazing.
That's why I fell in love with festivals.
Right.
Really.
Yeah.
And I love that too.
Experience.
Or the other one was like the Horde festivals.
Yeah, the Horde was great.
Horde was great because that was, I always say that was like the mid to late 90s where it kind of diverged and I kind of went more with the hippie jam band. But, Big Head Todd at Horde Fest with Blues Traveler, Ben Harper.
Yeah, just jam bands.
Yeah, and just, and ones that have stuck around. Like Ben Harper, like he went from total just shredding it to like totally changed his game.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, is, when we talked about like even the Pumpkins, right? Early stuff just rocked, and now people are like, oh, they suck. It's like you can't win as a band.
No.
People want you to not
sell out.
They want you not to just put out the same thing over and over. But then the second that you try and do something different, like, why don't you sound like you did then? Yeah. It's like, well, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah. Have you seen the Netflix documentary with Bobby Williams? Have you heard of this guy?
Mm-mm.
So he's one of the most popular English pop stars.
Okay. Oh, Robbie Williams.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Go ahead. Yeah, we know Robbie Williams.
God, if you need to watch his Netflix special. It's a great documentary. Obviously, he went through a lot of tough times with drugs and things, but you really do gain an appreciation for like what rock stars go through.
Absolutely.
It's not an easy life. I mean, we think it is. We think it's like, oh God, I wish I was that person, but not really.
I could not
Not
do
with
what they
like
do.
the paparazzi and the illicit. It's so easy to get down the wrong path.
Oh, paparazzi, the fact that you might be on the road 200 days out of 365 a year touring.
Yeah, it's a grind.
It's a grind. Like you traveled for work. I traveled for work. It's like yeah, I'm not going to say I'm a rock star, but I get that traveling.
I will.
Right.
Traveling every fucking week, day after day.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
definitely
grind.
That was the reason why I changed jobs.
I'm having a hard enough time just being a regular dude.
Right.
You know, like,
Yeah.
imagine being that with the spotlight.
I mean, that's why I always said, like,
Yeah.
maybe to be the bass player or even the drummer in a band, you know, so like you're not as recognizable.
Yeah.
Or if
Gotcha,
you're in a
man.
city where people obviously know you, so they give you your distance anyway.
That's where I have a lot of respect for the ones that have gone the distance and kept themselves centered. Like,
Big
how
Head Todd and
difficult is
Monsters.
that? Yeah.
Like those guys. Big Head
can't
Todd and the
Foo
Monsters.
Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
except for
say
the drummer.
that. I say,
Another one.
no, but I said because me and Neil just went and saw them. Like I've been seeing them since like the mid to late '90s, and they were still out there shredding it, just loving it, putting and never.
And we don't know what their demons are. They
No,
might
you
have
don't know.
some-
They might have had something you never heard about.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like they're still
Unreal.
grinding, and it's funny.
I think Neil had something to say.
No, just the fact that that's their job, you know,
Yeah.
like
some
that's-
people take more professional,
Right.
approach to it.
Yeah.
you know,
and
but
others get a little
us
trapped in
getting
different
so
things.
excited about listening to live, you know,
and that's what
music
keeps them
Well,
going.
Pearl
you know?
Jam too. Like they've really kept it
amazing.
together. Like all of their peers are dead.
When you think about when you think about it,
Yeah.
they have the core four, and then the drummers change. But really,
Yeah.
they've had Matthew Cameron now for like over a decade.
Right.
So it's like they really have the
Like
core
he
five.
fits that. Like I am impressed with their longevity,
100%.
and keeping centered, and just making
Apparently,
it about the
I
music.
heard on the way here that, excuse me, Pearl Jam is coming out with a new album.
Really,
Yes.
I hadn't heard that.
And they say it's going to sound like their 10 album or
I was gonna say tenor versus
You know,
more,
like, yeah,
more
like-
back to like
like
the
original.
more
Okay.
harder edge to it.
But
Okay.
isn't that weird?
So we did stand
Yeah.
in line. Sean Thomas and I, maybe Kimball was with us, but when 10 came out, we stood in line at the Discount Den at midnight
to get the
to buy the album, and
Yeah.
it was like a line around the corner. And
Oh,
of
no
course,
kidding.
you meet different people. You have a lot of fun, just like we used to do when we were
Yes.
in like Showerman's.
yeah for concert tickets. It was the best.
I know.
It's the best.
I know.
And what would be funny is like you might. I mean, on the rare chance you might be in line with someone at Charmin's to buy those tickets.
Oh, they
And
wanted
then-
a ham.
No, not at the ham, but no.
Is this the line for ham?
Out of a random chance, you see that same goddamn person at the actual
At the
show.
show,
Instant best friends.
Right. Like, oh my god.
And we're gonna do another.
That person would take a bullet for you. Talking about these shows that like sink in, but
Right.
I mean, these were in a short time frame.
Yeah.
Like between these Lollapaloozas, Lou Reed, and then it was Beastie Boys. It was actually almost. It was right around not Thanksgiving. It was Halloween, October, in Wings Stadium, and that was Check Your Head tour.
Yeah.
So it was the first time they were like on their instruments,
Yeah.
and like you saw them like
That was cool.
pass the
Yeah.
mic, and so what you want. I was like, something's got to give. Gratitude. Holy shit, this was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Henry Rollins opened up.
Yeah.
Just totally tore the place up.
Right.
Oh, and before him was the Lynch Mob.
That's right.
But it wasn't Ice Cube. He didn't make the,
No.
but.
Yeah,
it was,
no, Beastie
like
Boys,
some of those
that was
shows
one of
back-
those, another gut punch when.
I've never cried. Never actually
And you
cried.
tried? Yeah.
I'll never forget. I was driving. It was a Friday, I think. Well, whatever day, but I came home from work. I was traveling for the week, and I was meeting Emily and the kids at Buddy's. And
Big family, man.
as I was driving from the airport to Buddy's, I heard that MCA died.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting
I couldn't believe it.
in the booth by myself, waiting for him to show up. And I started crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I crying?
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
was.
Because he's
Right
awesome.
up there, bro.
Well,
R.I.P.
What's up?
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm about to cry right now.
Oh,
no,
you
I'm
need
not
a
gonna-
hug.
I'm
You
not
need a
gonna
hug.
cry.
I'll hug you right
MCA
now. I'll
was-
hug the shit out of you.
MCA was a good
I-
dude.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
Love-
And
I
he
mean,
was
the
a
Beastie
family
Boys,
man. He had
They
kids.
broke
He-
a lot of molds, man.
Absolutely. You
Fucking
know, and they
love the
started
Beastie
out
Boys.
as kind of the young punks, and
Yeah.
they grew over time. And
Yeah.
and you know what? They are icons.
They are some of
They
my
are
favorite
hip-hop,
concert memories.
They are punk. They are alternative. They are grunge. Whatever you want to
Yeah,
call them.
they do what they want.
everything.
Yeah,
They were
and
the
they were good
best.
at everything they did.
Do you remember that I slipped in a lyric into my commencement speech at Churchill High
I
School?
don't. Tell us more. I don't remember that.
After I started with "As we walked the hallowed hallways of Churchill High School."
Which Cal and I are members of the Hall of Fame. by the
Actually,
way.
I stole that from JB because he couldn't speak at the announcement.
Hold on, let me do an Al Bundy thing here. So if you guys are ever back at Churchill, just kind of check out Cal and I. We're in the Hall of Fame. Anyways, go ahead.
Yes, we are for soccer as our team.
I'm going there right after this episode to see that Hall of Fame.
It's an amazing display.
Meet me there. Meet me there.
Cal's giving me COVID right now, but I don't even care. I'm having such a good time.
Neil, you're really going to enjoy it. It's truly an absolutely amazing display for our team to be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, go ahead.
Absolutely
My
amazing.
favorite was Pickler giving us shit. So you guys got in the Hall of Fame for coming in second? That's weird. We won the championship. I'm like, yeah.
I refused to go to the ceremony because they were making me pay for my tickets to it. I'm like, I'm in the fucking Hall of Fame.
It's literally a money grab to raise money for the athletic. But I hook, line, and sinker. I was there, man.
Go ahead.
In hindsight, I probably wish I was right? But, in the end, I'm like, College Hall of Fame's better anyway.
Do you remember who our captains were that year?
You were.
No. Not the year we went to the finals. I was a sophomore. I was just lucky to be on a starter.
For what, our senior year?
It was our sophomore year, the year we went to the finals.
Oh,
we lost to De La Salle. Basically, we lost to Mason and Hardy.
Probably Gentili, Mike.
Yeah. The one that sticks out in my mind is Schamberger.
Hey, that's right.
He was the captain, and he owned that team. He shout out to Eric. His son is a great athlete in South Florida.
Hockey goalie.
Hockey and soccer.
Yeah. I see all the thing updates in that.
So shout out
to
Eric.
And actually, Eric and his wife both follow us on Facebook.
Oh, good. When I run into him, I always say, "What's up, Captain?" Because
you know what? Because
he was my captain. That
year,
yeah, Schamberger.
Cool.
Yeah,
You're right. That year, I was like an outsider looking in almost.
Yeah.
We all were. We were younger, but you played a lot your sophomore year when we went to
Mason loved me for some reason.
And you did well. But you did well. That was why you go with that. But Schamberger, you're right. He was the epitome of a captain.
Yep.
He rallied the troops, pumped everyone up,
kept people calm, got people up and down.
Not only that, but kept everyone together outside of the soccer too, to make sure and that's. Yeah. What I always try to do at UAD.
Yeah, isn't that?
I couldn't care less. You guys drink, you guys do this, you guys do that, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Game time's different.
No, not only that, but after the game, come hang out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't want to drink? That's fine. We're not going to give you a shit because you don't drink. But come hang out. It's going to be a good time.
Be a part of the team.
Bring everyone together. It's like you do that outside. You do that when you're traveling. It's a lot easier to do it on the field.
Yeah.
So, DeHo.
Yeah.
Out of all the shows you've seen, I mean, outside maybe the festival in Ireland, favorite venue, top show.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't just been local. You've seen shows all over.
Yeah, I mean, Pine Knob, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're very lucky to have Pine Knob in our backyard.
Yes.
I mean, I've gone to places all over the state and the country, and I still think Pine Knob is the best. And if you get past Pine Knob, I would say the smaller venues.
100%.
And Royal Oak Music Theater, the Crow. Have you ever been to the Crowfoot?
I haven't. Yeah. That's in Pontiac.
So I'm telling you, yeah.
So was it something before the Crowfoot, though? It had to have been, but either way, I haven't.
What's your question?
Was it something before the Crowfoot?
What do you mean?
Was it named something before?
I think it was, but
probably.
Clutch Cargo. Was it Clutch Cargo?
No, maybe, but
so shout out to the Crowfoot. I've never been to a place that was so well organized and run, and the people were cool, and the bartenders were cool, and the people at the door were cool. The owner came out and high five, shook hands with people.
Real quick, myself, Lindsay, Dario, and I think Paul and maybe Leo saw the National at Crowfoot. And Keith, I think
I am so jealous
saw
of
the
you right
National
now.
at the Crowfoot.
I am so jealous right now.
Way back in 2008 or 2009. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that became a big awesome, a favorite of mine. But yeah, the smaller, the State Theater in Detroit that was the Fillmore, or now is the Fillmore.
I still call it the State. I loved when it was the State Theater.
Yeah, Kelly and I.
Oh my God, I saw the Pumpkins at the State Theater, or I saw so-and-so at the State Theater.
So Kelly and Megan Hannigan
worked
as interns together at Domino's Farms in Ann Arbor.
Okay.
And their
I love it.
Yeah, their bosses were like, "Hey, we've got 4 tickets to the Hootie and the Blowfish at the State Theater
Hoots
in
and
Detroit."
blows.
And they're like,
Hoots and blows.
Yeah, they're like, "Do you want them?" And they're like, "I guess."
Yeah.
And so Kelly was going to bring her brother Nick, and Megan's like, "I'm not fucking bringing your brother Nick. I got some buddies that I'll bring." So he brought. They invited me and my roommate at the time, Ed Pleat, who I worked with at Ford. And so we went to this concert together. We went to Atwater Brewery beforehand, and we went to the concert, and Kelly and I have been together ever since.
That was the first time you met
That was
Kelly.
the first
That's
time
awesome.
I met her on my porch when they showed up at our house when I was living in Dearborn. And
no shit.
And so Megan Hannigan set Kelly and I
Kinda
up.
set you up. That's awesome.
And then Megan and Ed dated for like a few months, but kind of
Hootie
fizzled
and the
out.
Blowfish. They're actually, I think
They're coming back.
Yeah, they're
this
coming
summer, I think.
This summer.
Yeah.
Hootie and the Blow. You guys should go.
We should. We should.
You guys should.
Remember
100%.
you met there, and
Yeah,
now
it's kind of a thing.
It's like a big.
So,
But I haven't brought up Woodstock yet. Kelly and I went to Woodstock.
So
99. Yeah.
all right. So were you there the whole time when all
Yeah.
this shit broke?
We left when
That
it
was the
started.
bad
So
one.
we decided
that was the bad one.
it was the bad one. Well,
94 was great.
we didn't experience most of the. Well, let me get to that.
Go ahead.
We
Wait,
were there
before you
till
say that,
then.
but 94 was great, and part of the reason
Yeah,
was they
94
had
was
such a
Wasn't it a mudslide?
well, it was the mudslide, and they threw grass. Okay,
Yeah.
but you
There
had
wasn't as
had
much-
like Green Day, and you had these guys, but then you also had like Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Yeah.
You had like the
A good
older
mix.
Woodstock people,
Yeah.
plus
Oh, yeah.
the newer stuff. So it was a great mix.
When I
and
tell
then
you-
like '99 was like Korn, Limp Bizkit.
I'll tell you, dude,
just
like-
like everyone just wants to.
Bush, Counting Crows, Creed, Sheryl Crow, DMX, Ice Cube, ICP, Jewel, Kid Rock, Limp Bizkit, Live, Dave Matthews Band, Metallica, Alanis Morissette, Rage Against the Machine, Rusted Root, Tragically Hip,
That was a big
Red
one.
Hot Chili Peppers.
I didn't
Oh,
realize
Hip.
Rusted Root was there until
Back now,
literally
yeah.
like 6 months ago when I saw a video of them playing there.
we were
Like,
there.
holy shit.
We went. We prioritized. It was second stage, but we
Yeah,
prioritized.
so you
that.
actually saw them. At
Yes, we did.
That's
Yes, we did.
awesome.
Yeah, so it was fun.
It's
It was-
such a great fun
Kelly and I
live
had
band.
literally met maybe 6 or 7 months before that, and that was like our first road
Trip
trip
and
together.
everything.
And we went with my buddy John Warner and
Uh-huh.
some of his buddies that I met through Ford, and we didn't really. Like, one, it was hot. This is well documented, so I'm not going to tell
Yeah.
anything. It was really hot. They were
It's fucking horrible.
they were making you pay
Conditions.
so much money for waters and all that. All that's true. We experienced that, but really, we were just there for the music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were there for the concert, and then Kelly and I would go to like the beer tent and hang out. Like, it wasn't like we were at the raves or like all
Right,
these things,
right.
Right,
all
you had your own thing. Like,
yeah, like we were hanging out as a group.
You
of,
toned
like,
it down.
we told like we were there for the music and for
Uh-huh.
the people that we were there
Right.
with, and for that reason, it was awesome. The conditions were terrible. Like, our systems complete. When I say our system shut down, like I went to take a shit in one of the porta potties. Nope. Nope. I mean, I peed whatever I needed to pee, but Kelly and I both, our system, like, you didn't want to go in there because it was like really gross. And I still remember, this is kind of a weird thing to share on a podcast, but like as we were leaving the venue, we were like pulled into Burger King. We're like, we're shitting. All of a sudden it kicked back.
Right.
Yeah, but anyways, that's a weird thing to bring up. But the experience itself, like it wasn't until we started, the fire started and things started to get a little weird. We were like, all right, let's get the fuck out. And we
Right.
just laughed.
But up to that point, you guys had a great
Good.
experience
Great time.
because you
I'm
had your
glad
own.
there were people that went there that had a good time.
we had a great time.
You know, well, my brother-in-law
Yeah,
John,
John.
like his
Yeah.
experience was pretty simple. It was miserable to
Exactly.
a certain extent, but like
Yeah.
you said, he was there for the music.
Right.
I mean, he was like 18 or 19 years old. I'm like, holy shit, that's insane that you went there. It
Yeah.
was
Oh,
crazy.
I watched that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And-
Insane Clown Posse was there. Oh my God. Sorry if you
No.
want to finish your thought. So what they taped $100 bills on beach balls and then threw them into the crowd and just watched people annihilate each other trying to get this $100 bill off of
Wow.
and they were throwing Fago everywhere, which is a well documented thing that they do.
Right.
But that was interesting. We didn't get like hurt or
Right.
anything. But and then the other
That's pretty stupid, actually.
and this was the first time I saw Kid Rock, and he was a buzz around the whole place because he puts on a show. Obviously, you can love him or hate him for
Right.
lots of
I've
different
seen
reasons.
him in concert. He's
And-
puts on a great show.
I walked away so impressed with just his musicianship, and he played on the same song. He played every instrument. He sang, then he played guitar, then he went over
Yeah.
to the drums, then he went over
That-
here.
you know,
I'm
and
like,
That's
cool.
why I said no matter what, you have to respect the guy for his talent.
Yeah.
And he's reinvented himself. He's done this. He's done that. You don't have to. And
Yeah.
music isn't about any sort of politics
Exactly.
or anything like that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
poor
Poor Jared Goff said he was hoping to see
Right, and he gets his ass kicked about it.
his ass kicked because he wants to see Kid Rock.
And I'm like, that's the beauty of music is it brings everyone. Like,
Well-
you'll be at a show and like people you're
None of that
talking
shit.
to, you may not
Yeah.
align with them on anything
Right,
in life, but you have there.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what this is about.
So one of our close friends that we hang out with a lot in Milford, her name is Cassie Pike. Shout out Cassie. She's a boss lady, man. She's executive for her company. I don't even want to know how much money she makes. She's very successful, very just everything, and she loves Kid Rock is her band.
It's her jam.
It's her jam, and I've been to a concert with her a few times with it, and she just goes crazy, and it's just interesting to see like that side of her
Right,
come out.
because you would never
Yeah,
imagine.
you would never
Should.
suspect that
100%.
she was
Doesn't matter.
Kid
It
Rock
should.
fan.
Everybody
Yeah.
likes.
Well, I was gonna. We have
certainly
seen
objective.
so many sides of so
Or
many
subject.
people at all the shows we've gone to. Some you can talk about, some you can't. But it's
Right.
like I'm to the point where nothing even fucking shocks me anymore
Yeah.
at the show, because
Right.
to me, when you're at a show, it's almost like you are your most natural self.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
you're just letting it go.
Like you're right, you let it go. You're
Love that,
enjoying it. You might have a beer, you might do this, whatever. But that's you, in my opinion, at your most natural self,
Yeah.
enjoying this,
Yeah.
and you can enjoy that with anyone
And
because
by
you're
the-
all there for the same reason.
And
How
I-
often can you say, out
Right.
of 25,000 people, whatever the number
all
is,
here for the
we're all
same-
here for the same thing?
Yeah.
And if you go into it in that mindset,
Yeah.
you end up like having even a better, especially if you
For
go
sure.
solo,
Yeah.
because then you're really talking to people, because you're like you want that connection.
Yeah.
I even found that out, and I'm totally not that guy.
My last Cassie Pike reference is that I would challenge either of you to try to shotgun a beer faster than Cassie. Won't happen. It's another one of those out of character. Like, how did you just?
I won't do it, but I'll put Shaq up against you.
Oh, okay.
Shaq
All right,
is pretty
Cassie
good.
and
That-
Shaq.
I cannot shotgun.
I can, but a lot of it ends up here.
I can beer bong.
Yeah, bongs are sweet.
Yeah, but not
The old
shotgun.
beer bong.
Gosh,
Fuck that
I
shit.
made my own beer bong. Like, you buy all the materials at the
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
hardware store. And
Oh yeah.
Dude, when me and Emily first
Those are
got
great.
married, and we had like a big both
Excuse me.
families are there, like a barbecue type party and that, and we broke out the beer bong.
Yeah.
And behind our old garage is there my father-in-law just ripping beer bongs, like 2 or 3. He just didn't want anyone to see him,
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I don't think
Good old
I
lad.
could. I don't think I would be able to do it. But did you ever hear how Sean Thomas bonged a fifth of liquor?
I remember vaguely
heard
this
that.
story.
Yeah. It was like after prom, they went, camping or something.
In Sterling.
Yeah.
I was there.
Okay. I was not.
But I drank way too much Jack, and I
Yeah.
was totally out for like a day and a half.
Somehow he managed to
A day and a
bong a fifth of liquor. I've never seen anything like it. And then when we were in college,
Oh my god.
he bonged.
Couldn't that kill you?
I think the two of us bonged a 12-pack back and forth, like within like 10 or 15 minutes. And we're like, this is nothing. We're good. And then it hit you. And you're like,
Me and
we're
Pick-
not good.
Me and Pickler did that.
Yeah.
We had a 30-pack.
Sorry, Mom. That was a bad decision.
We had like a 30-pack of Meister Brow, and me and Pickler went 1 for 1, 15 each, back and forth. And then we went to the Impound off Caju in Detroit because Gio's band, Red Eye, was playing. And all I remember is being there, and we used to go there all the time, and we'd hammer down Flaming Dr. Peppers,
I mean, why wouldn't you?
which is a beer, a shot of amaretto with 151. You light it on fire, it tastes just like a Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah.
But I remember being right at the stage, just staring at Johnny.
15
I've
Meister
told this
Brown.
before, and touching his fucking pedal.
Oh,
And
heard
he
you
just
talking about
booted me
this.
right with his foot and just knocked my ass down.
yeah.
But
Well
the
deserved.
thing I will never forget about that is, one, after everyone's sitting me in a chair at the bar, like, mind you, I'm 19.
Yeah.
Because this is our freshman year. Pickler never stopped. He bogged 15 beers, went to the bar, was drinking like a fish, partying his ass off on the dance floor.
How's that possible?
I don't know,
think it
dude.
is.
It was amazing.
Damn, shout out to you.
Pickler's though.
Don't try that again.
That Pickler's a strong.
I don't
person.
think I've ever partied with Pickler that much. I mean, I've obviously had
No,
fun
I
with him
mean,
before, but he's
yeah.
usually pretty reserved, at least last few. I mean,
That
obviously-
was freshman year.
Yeah, I was
that
going
was
to say.
freshman year.
I guess he's a little more mature
Actually,
now.
that was literally the night it was like Friday night, and then the next day everyone started leaving campus the Saturday. So it would have been
So it's kind of a
like mid-April. It was total. Everyone's
Blowout.
partying, and I got completely just wasted by like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I did love Red Eye. Like, they were good. And,
They were.
And I remember after our Marauders practices, someone would buy a case, and Johnny at the time, now it's Giovanni, he would just strum his guitar and sing, and I just love that. Like, those are like really good memories.
So it was funny because I was talking to him a while back because we're hoping to get him on the show sometime in July.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And
Great guy. He's probably the best person.
And actually, another one's Jeremy Harkins.
Yeah.
He plays guitar and sings now.
Really?
It's
I
like,
didn't know that.
Gio was like, he got hurt, and so he had a red shirt year. He's like, well, I got to do something. So he actually got a guitar.
And he learned it.
And he said he would sit on like his
Yeah, I remember early
porch,
days when he was just learning.
and he would just sit and like play it and learn a couple chords, and then he would like see a dude walk. He's like, check out that dude walking. You know, and
Like, he would just
play
work into his
and he would
everyday-
just think, he's walking to the store.
Yeah.
Or maybe he isn't, but he's playing music the whole time. Eventually it just kept snowballing from
that's
there.
cool.
And then he ends up in this band.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were actually, because
good.
Ludwig was the singer.
Yeah. Oh,
and
that's
they
right,
would
Ludwig.
they would do like all those covers
Rob
of
Ludwig?
Robbie
Yeah.
Ludwig, like Pearl Jam covers and this and that, and
Yeah, they were good.
they really were. And it was funny because when I talked to him, he's been in Austin for quite a while now, damn near a decade. And he's like, ever since we moved here, I haven't even taken my guitar out.
Really?
He goes, until about 6 months ago, and he just kind of started fiddling on the acoustic a little bit.
That's
again.
cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to get him on.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So the one thing that we have to talk about,
Okay.
2000, remember it was like, the world's going to
Yeah.
come to an end, Y2K.
Had to.
And I went to Chicago.
Had to make sure you rebooted your computer.
Yes, turn it off.
Turn it
first.
off.
Turn it
You
off,
know
and then
what's gonna
reboot
happen.
it in the morning, and hopefully it doesn't blow up in your
Yep.
face.
Yep.
Luckily, it didn't. But that year, I went to Chicago for New Year's Eve because we saw Australia and Japan was
right.
fine, so we're fine here.
Yeah.
Fuck it. So we drove to Chicago. Then in February,
Via
me and-
Chicago?
Yep. Me and Neil went to Mardi Gras in February
Oh, boy.
because again, it's the year 2000.
I remember
the
when you
world's
guys
ending.
went that.
Yeah, we were about to die.
Yeah, we're gonna die, so we said we might as well go out in the bang, right? So me and Neil drove down to Mardi Gras. We followed Johnny V and Benny.
Yep, best time ever. By the
We
way,
went from Grand Rapids to Kankakee, Illinois, then down to Mardi Gras. Direct line.
Yeah,
Perfect. Straight
Didn't get
shot.
turned around at all.
Straight shot.
Nope.
And then we met Goran and his roommate from Notre Dame.
Shout out Goran.
And
Yep.
all three cars just stayed in the parking garage, and we slept in our cars. Great experience.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't dirty and gross at all there
Right.
for Mardi
Nope,
Gras.
never.
But then fast forward 3 months later, and it's the Kentucky Derby,
Oh, boy.
year 2000. Again, we're still not sure. The world
Yeah.
still might be coming to an end.
If it were to, we at least went to Mardi Gras. Now we're going to the
Right.
Kentucky
Yeah.
Derby.
But so it was us,
Unreal.
you,
Kimball.
and I want to say there was it 7 or
Sean.
9 of us in one RV.
I don't know.
Somewhere in that-
the three of us. So three.
Kimball and Sean.
Kimball and Sean. John Young.
Alan.
Alan. We picked up Hannigan on the
Hannigan.
way.
Somewhere
we picked
in
him up in
Indiana.
Indianapolis.
Yep.
That's 8.
That's 8.
I think we had 9.
and Justin
Leonard.
Justin Leonard.
Yep. So we had 9 people
Yeah.
in a 32-foot RV.
Yep.
And apparently you can just rent RVs,
Yep.
have no history of driving said RV,
Nope.
no experience with RVs.
Nope.
And you can get in it
Yep.
with a keg of beer and go straight to the Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
Via Indianapolis.
I think the RV came with the cat.
it was in the shower. I remember.
Sean was so brilliant. He's like, "I'll drive first.
yeah.
Get it over with. We can start drinking."
And I remember driving. I remember Neil trying to drive that lasted all of like 15 seconds.
Yep.
Because I don't like it. I don't like it.
John Young refused to drive, or Bugs. Bugs might have been with us too.
He might have.
Yeah.
There was
I was
a whole.
very scared.
It was, and we were changing drivers on the fly.
Yeah.
But what I remember you is like, fuck it, I'll drive.
Yeah.
And like 3 straight hours of nothing but like death,
wall of death with the construction
concrete
things.
I took one for the team.
Yes, you
Yes,
did.
you did.
Absolutely
I
did.
had the most difficult
Yep.
driving conditions,
and you went like 3 hours, but you weren't slowing down.
I used to be a porter at Blackwell Ford, so
Right.
I
So
know
yeah.
my way around a vehicle.
Some great experience.
I'm not shying away from that kind of responsibility.
I remember we had a boom box in there that we could play CDs because, I mean, tech back then sucked. We
Yeah.
didn't have a CD player in there or whatever. And we played Sunvolt.
Oh, I love someone.
Because Sunvolt, I will never forget, in Details magazine, it said #1 road trip
Yes.
CD. And it's the Trace CD that's got Drown. And
Yeah.
I also remember a girl falling in love with Neil
Yes.
at Kentucky Derby. Like,
Yes.
she wanted to marry you.
So
Yeah.
what I remember is we got there like Friday night and we just drank, partied our ass off.
yeah.
And
We parked in someone's, like, backyard.
No, Friday night we parked in like a CVS. Because we
So
got
was it
there
Saturday that we parked in someone's backyard?
and then we all are wasted, and I think it was Justin Leonard. It's like fucking 7:00 in the morning. We're all sleeping in this RV somehow,
Yeah.
like 9 of us.
Figured out a place.
But all of a sudden we hear, and it's like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. He's firing this shit up, and he can't even be sober at this point. He went to bed like 2 hours ago. Like, what the fuck? He's like, we're going! So he's dragging us to the fucking Churchill Downs. And sure as shit, he gets us there.
We paid someone's, like, family
Yeah.
like
Yes.
$100 or something.
It was, well, Churchill Downs, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not the nicest area.
No,
you know?
it's not.
And a part of the local economy literally is the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
And people would have you park on their front lawn.
Yeah.
And where we parked, there was like 10 RVs, and they were charging like $100 RV,
Yeah.
like 70
It'd be
or
like
50.
500 now. But
Yeah. Right, exactly. But I mean, these houses were clearing thousands of dollars.
Sure.
And they were super cool, and we go in. I remember not seeing a horse the entire
No,
time.
never
except
saw a
for
horse.
once.
Never saw a horse, just the infield.
Nope.
And it was such a cool experience. I would recommend. I would go to Mardi Gras or Kentucky Derby
Derby
over
over-
Mardi Gras any day of the week.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is such a cool.
And there's
experience.
a few stories that we literally cannot tell.
No,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
They're obviously
Well, I mean, it's a long.
never
fucking
saw a
day.
horse,
It's
but
hot.
saw a lot of boobies.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
And I remember-
everybody knows
more
about
than
that.
that.
I will never
Yeah.
forget. And like the key race that everyone sees on TV is like race 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
So like it's race 4.
Yeah.
When we're all, I
Yeah.
mean, when we're hammered. And I remember Neil just needed to take a nap. So he's like, I'm just going to sleep right here. And he was maybe, I'll call it 50 yards from like the row of Porter Johns.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't like sleeping in the
No,
pit.
no,
He
no,
was
no.
way out of the way.
Yeah.
But all of a
That's
sudden,
a nice spot.
all of a sudden this crowd starts showing
Yeah,
up.
it
You know,
starts
because the
filling
big
up.
race is coming. This
Yeah.
place is packed. We're like, what the hell?
And
And you
poor
see
Neil's
these
still
lines
sleeping.
coming up. Neil's in line. All of a sudden, these people make a line around Neil. And like, we're hanging with. We didn't just leave line
No,
dry,
no,
so
no,
we're
no.
hanging. But all and everyone's going around, and all of a sudden Neil wakes up. Yeah, and there was some chick.
Some
who was
chick
like,
just took a liking to him.
yeah,
That
she's like,
chick
oh my
loved
god, I
him.
love him, and she loved it. The fact that he was just passed out and he was
Yeah.
up and just alert and going.
And I think I remember telling her, I love you for loving him. Like, I remember telling her that. And she's like, thank you.
Yeah, that girl was. I
And
love
then
that
He-
girl.
he's starting to like, I should have got her number.
Yeah,
Dude, I
absolutely.
remember that girl.
Yeah, she was
That was
cool. And
hilarious.
she was good looking too.
Yeah, she's a little
Well,
older. I mean, I
she
was like
probably
23.
like, she was probably 32 or
I was
something.
gonna-
Yeah.
I would say, I was like back in the day. She was like 45. She was
Nah,
probably like 30.
she was probably like
he was like
29
29
or
Yeah.
Thank you, girl from Kentucky Derby.
Well, man, fast
Do you remember her
forward.
name?
No.
I don't. Okay.
Hell no,
Fast
I don't
forward
think
to
I ever
the
got
end
her
of the
name.
Derby.
Say what?
Fast forward to
Oh,
the
yeah,
end of the
okay,
Derby. We
all
have
right.
8 dudes in this
Yep.
RV. We're
Yep.
off of these people's lawn. Where the fuck's DeHo?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, there's no like cell phone.
No.
We had we did.
yeah.
Like, I would say out of the 9, I think 3 of us had a cell phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So you
that's
could-
how we got back together.
But DeHo's nowhere in
Yeah.
sight. We're just kind of like tooling around, like going around the block. All of a sudden, you see DeHo just running down the street. We're like, where the fuck have you been?
Yeah, so-
Remember where you were?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got separated from you guys. Partly because, like I said before, I love talking to new
Right.
people and meet new people, and like that
Right,
brings
you
you to
go to the
different
bathroom,
places.
got sidetracked.
Yeah, so I'm following these new people that I meet into like a neighborhood, and like you said, it's like parties are everywhere. This is the Kentucky Derby, you know,
Right.
So
Oh yeah, like the houses. I
Yeah.
mean, people are barbecuing. And
Yeah, so
stuff, and you walk by. And,
I
hey,
walk
$5
up to the-
and you'll get the best thing ever.
So I walk up to this house with my new friends, and we go to the basement, and I'm bouncing kids on my fucking knee. Like,
He's like Uncle DeHo.
I'm handing out dollar bills to kids. I'm bouncing them on my knee. I have positive memories of that. Let's just say that.
And that's what I remember. I remember
Sorry, Mom,
you
if you're
weren't
watching
running because you were scared. You were running because you were happy we got to home base.
Yes, I was hoping to
Because you came in and you're like, oh my God, I just had the best time. I was in these people's
That's
basement.
absolutely what he said.
Yeah.
First thing, I just was.
I had a plate of food. Music was going. Next thing you know, I'm bouncing. Like, Jesus Christ, lovely DeHo.
Because for some reason I was handing out dollar bills, and then all the kids were like my best friend.
No, but you're always one of the dudes. You can get along with anyone.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was a good memory for sure.
So, any shows you have coming up?
My oldest, Ren, is a huge, and if I can't say huge enough, I'll say it again, huge fan of the band that I can't think of right now. Sorry, Ren's gonna be so mad at me. Water Parks. So it's the band is called Water Parks. Have you ever heard of them?
No, but you
We'll be on our
said it
playlist
earlier.
for this
We're not
episode.
Yeah,
on the
so
show, but
the good news is I also enjoy Water Parks. It's kind of like Blink 182.
like I love.
Fusion.
Actually, I love Blink 182.
They are like just like crazy pop stars. They're not huge, obviously, because you haven't heard of them, but they sell out every show that they play, and they play like the Crowfoots and the Royal Oak Music Theaters.
Well,
and we're going to.
I love those places too because not only do you see those upcoming bands, what you're starting to see now is some of the older bands.
Yeah.
And that are still grinding, but they're playing
And
those
we'll
types
play
of
at those
places.
smaller venues,
Mudhoney.
Yeah.
When we saw Mudhoney at the Magic Bag, that's another one of those
Yeah.
local. The Magic Bag in Ferndale is one of the best places because it's like 500 people.
Yeah.
And seeing Mudhoney, and it's like when you're watching that show, there might as well be 50,000 people behind you.
Yeah.
You know, but there's 500.
Yeah.
But the experience is still the same.
So when we saw Water Parks at the Crowfoot, the line was around the corner just to get in, just because you need to like get in early to get your spot, right?
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
And so again, we met tons of fun people and interacted with everybody. And when we got in, it was like I'd never seen them live, and I'm like, damn, this is a fucking good band. They play a great show. Ren is like crowd surfing and doing like the mosh pit, and I know they call it like the Midwest mosh pit, which is a little more tame. But just to see like, and I brought my niece as well, just to see them like just going crazy and immersed, like seeing their idol perform,
and then you can enjoy it as well. So you can connect with your kids.
Yes, and so we're going again in I think it's March, Royal Oak Music Theater. That's my next concert.
That is such a great venue.
And Kelly my wife Kelly was supposed to come with us, and for whatever, it's Mother's Day.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, well, I'm going to kind of pull my Mother's Day card because I don't really want to go. But then she was, and that's why my niece went.
Okay.
But then she got so jealous when like
Yeah.
Ren and I were just like
loving it,
over the top of what a great time we had and how awesome they were. And so now Kelly's going to come with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And and that's one of the great things for me as well, right? As the kids get a little older, they
you see their passions start to come to.
And like, my rule, I would play my music in my car. So like they're always exposed to it, whether they like it or not, but they're exposed to it. And then like over time, it's like, me, Kenny, and everyone saw Smashing Pumpkins last summer, and the three of us are going to Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins this year. We're all going to Portugal the Man. Which reminds me, Portugal the Man.
Yeah.
Such a cool band.
Got a little connection with him now, huh?
Well, I mean, we're not going to even...
Okay.
We're not even going to talk about that.
All right.
But yeah, no, they are coming to Royal Oak Music Theater. It's the first time. So it's me, Emily, Kennedy Avery. So the 4 of the 5. Neil, John Shack, and then possibly his son. So we're going to roll 7 deep into this show. Royal Oak Music Theater, main floor.
Yep.
Which... I just saw Ben Harper there, and the last time I saw Ben Harper was the same place. It's such a cool venue.
I think your shirt's still on the stage, actually. There,
probably is. It probably is. I'll check on February 16th.
They keep sweeping it up.
Right. Actually, they put it on the end of the thing, and they use it as a duster.
Yeah.
But no, it's such a cool venue. And Portugal the Man, they actually did the soundtrack for this documentary called "We're All in This Together."
by the Traveling Dude.
the traveling dude, Daniel Troya.
He's the director.
And he has a bike, and he just literally rides his bike from like California to New York. No money, no food, no nothing. He just connects with people, kind of picks shit out of the dumpster. Such a cool
Yeah, we've
idea.
all been there. That kind of like, I would love to do that.
Oh my god!
It's not realistic, but I would love to do that.
But then the Portugal the Man like attached themselves to this project and doing all the sound, just so cool. But they're from Alaska. I mean, it took them like 10 plus years to even like make it right before they had a single.
Whatever "make it" means, but
Right,
I
but
get it.
hitting the club tours and
Yeah,
traveling,
getting
regionally,
more
and then next thing you know, they have a couple songs that hit the radio, and then they start blowing up. And Paul saw them at a festival in Boston,
Okay.
which it was funny you mentioned Killers. So the one he saw was Killers and Portugal the Man, and there was a couple other bigger bands, but it was like Portugal the Man played on this stage, and then right after it went straight into Killers.
Nice.
That's where the festival comes
Yeah,
in. That's just awesome.
one after the other.
Boston Killing, or what was it called? Boston Killing.
Boston Calling. Boston Calling.
I
That's
was
right.
killing right up.
So that's the next
Killers,
Calling.
Boston Calling, whatever.
Boston Calling. Yeah.
So I went to, me and Neil went to Big Head Todd and the Monsters.
That's right.
January 24th.
Right after the Lions one.
Yes, we went Lions game straight downtown to St. Andrews.
week.
Oh my God, those guys still kick ass.
Yeah, I do.
Amazing.
I do love.
They've literally played in 4 decades now.
Yeah.
And
They covered Tom Petty.
They did cover
Did you
Tom
get that
Petty.
on tape?
I did.
Oh, Tom Petty,
tape.
guys. Tom Petty.
TP and the HB.
I haven't put it on yet, but I think I have a good video of it.
I do, and I got to find it so I can put it out there.
I'll have to
And then
find
I
it,
just
too.
went to Diggable Planets in Kalamazoo.
I was supposed to go.
I know. We were going back and forth for a couple hours. I know we were both probably a little drunk. And it was a great plan.
Yep.
You were all on board. The part that I even told Neil this morning, I'm like, the best part was when I said, hey, did you end up getting a ticket? You're like, man, I actually have a couple meetings.
No.
But Drunk DeHo was all in.
yeah, the
100%.
next day.
The next day.
Yeah, I'm
oh,
sure.
you were all in that night.
Yeah.
And then the next day,
And I
got-
actually tried to buy a ticket, and I don't know. I was probably
Yeah,
too drunk to buy
it was
but-
such a good show. I mean, I remember listening to them in the
And
90s.
obviously, Kalamazoo has a big place in my heart.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I wanted to go with you to go to Ted's place.
Did you go to Shakespeare's?
No, by the time I got out of here, I didn't even get there. Till
Shout out to
Hi.
Ted Videla that owns Shakespeare's in Kalamazoo,
KZoo.
Michigan. It's 20 years strong. Place is awesome. It wasn't around when we were at school because
He was
Ted
in
was in
school?
school with
Is that a-
us.
Is that a bar?
It's a bar
Uh,
restaurant.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really,
for
really
the last
good.
20 years.
Shakespeare's.
It's been like a
Over 20
staple
years. Yeah,
in
Shakespeare's.
Kalamazoo. And
It's
Oh,
right
no kidding.
downtown, right on
Guy we went,
Kalamazoo
played
Avenue.
soccer and went to school with.
Yep.
Oh,
and,
really?
And anytime Kelly and I would go there, he's got great stories. Like he remembers, he spins a good yarn from back in the day.
Oh,
and all that.
man.
Yeah, yeah. Diggable Planets. Man.
So awesome.
So good. Because I don't go to many hip hop shows.
No.
And like, okay, I haven't listened to
Call
them
them
in 30
hip-hop?
years. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's like a hip hop with jazz, kind of.
Yeah, I was
infused
gonna
in there.
say
But the band, holy shit, the band was killer.
I bet. Not bad.
Killer Tunes.
Killer tunes,
Dude,
No,
they're
the band-
freaking-
at one point, the bass
badass.
player was badass, and then the guitar at one
And
point
the
they were doing
sax?
like the old
Get
80s.
off my
They do like
ass.
the little
Yeah,
routine,
yeah.
kick the leg and stuff. Oh my god! And I was right in the front,
Yeah.
and
Well, you were close to the front.
I was one
I saw
person
your-
back from the rail. That was it.
All right, I have to relook at
Yeah,
your live.
you can check that
All right.
out.
Yeah, I believe you. You were there. I wasn't there.
But goddamn, they sound so good.
Yeah.
It sounds like just like, and it's one of those ones. It took me an hour
Good-
and
good crowd?
45 each. It was good. It wasn't packed, but
Okay.
which was kind of nice because main floor you had a little bit of space,
Right.
But it was still full enough where it was like
Yeah.
great energy.
Good.
And the Kalamazoo State Theater, such a cool venue.
Yeah,
I've never been there before.
I saw the Verve Pipe there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean
You know,
they're
you
local
can-
boys.
You can actually have the lead singer of Verve Pipe come to your party for like
I saw
a few grand.
I saw that.
I have a
Someone
couple
that-
friends that did it.
Of all, and someone that's actually was just broadcasting the party and Verve Pipes playing at it.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
I
like-
also
I'm like, but that
I know.
sounds like it's at an Arby's
I know.
or something.
Well, I've also watched interviews with him. Is it Vander Ark? Brian Vander Ark? He's not ashamed of it. He's like, listen,
People love
people can make fun of me for playing someone's party for a couple grand, but I like to play music. It's
it.
money.
And these are just
Music.
true fans.
Yeah.
They're, like those people. That will be their story for the
Yeah,
rest of their life.
exactly.
100%.
And he's like,
I got no
he's
problem
like,
with
He's like,
that.
I'm not ashamed of it. He's
Shouldn't
like, yes,
be.
I understand people make fun of me for it,
but shouldn't be.
but
What the hell? Why would they make fun
because
of you?
they think he's
Oh, he should
like
be a superstar.
he's
What are you
stooping
doing?
to a
Right.
level of playing
Just
at
making
people's.
money.
Yeah, Whatever.
But no,
I don't disrespect it.
I don't at all.
Those are
two
not
things.
artists.
That's like, I hope that the artists that I want to
those
play
are
at my
just
funeral
people.
have the common decency to play at my funeral. I don't
Say
care.
that again?
I said I hope like those artists that I recommend to play at my funeral
Right.
will play it.
Which one do you want? We'll make
Billy
sure.
Corgan.
Ben Harper.
Ben Harper for sure.
Just play your, oh shit.
I'm gonna burn one down. Come on, Neil, give it to
Well, it
me.
might be a different song, but yeah, Ben Harper.
Come on. Oh, okay.
Hey,
I thought you.
hey.
So
Gonna burn one
I will say
down.
that this has been probably one of the most fun episodes that
Yeah.
I've done.
Well, I agree, but I wasn't part of the other ones.
I agree.
Just looking at my notes to see what else we got to cover here. Keep going.
So, one, super happy that you joined us, DeHo.
Yeah.
I could see us having you back on
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, I got half my notes left.
And-
Yeah, I
right.
think
Not only
we
that,
have
like
half our notes.
the one thing I want to say is fuck this shit. We got to get to a show together.
Yes. Which one do you want to do?
Um.
I was hoping that we would commit to something on air.
Well, that's funny because that's how me and Maxie ended
Yeah, I
up
know.
with Ben Harper. Well, I have a ton already planned.
I know. Which one do you think?
So we have Portugal the Man coming up. You know what I would suggest?
I'll be up north on that one. I looked it up.
February 27th, Porno for Pyros.
Where's that at?
Fillmore, main floor.
That sounds like the
It's a
one.
farewell tour for Porno for Pyros. Perry Farrell's 4 years old.
No way.
Yes, he is.
Porno for Pyros.
Which is like people are like, oh, Perry's kind of losing his
He
voice.
doesn't
Like,
look
he's
a day
64.
under 50.
You know, it's all the work. A day under 52.
I should say. Yeah.
But no, I would say that it's a Tuesday night, but it's Fillmore,
voice
February
is not so
27th. We can pick you up on the fucking drive-in, probably.
All right, let's lock it
Pretty
in.
much.
Let's lock it in.
So yeah,
Let's do a blood oath.
February 27th, we're already going. It's me, Neil, Kennedy, Shaq. I think his kid's going. We need to get you a ticket. We'll
do it.
drive in together.
All right.
Porno for Pyros. Farewell tour.
Be there, be square.
Thanks, Neil. Hey, everyone else, check out all of our socials. We got the YouTube channel, so you can check out this video. You can see how ugly we are. We have Spotify, Apple. You check that shit out. We also got Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, plus a new Facebook group called Two Dudes and Live Twos. Go check it out because we're going to post all of our video footage along with all of our members are going to post that shit.
And send these guys some beer.
What up?
Yeah.
Peace.